So it's like I definitely never very impressive right now. And for like Shanks fire ship like because it being stationary right up at the company where the random and also different because of like Shanks most likely having like anchor and fastest ship right up like the cost of random one also especially due to like Shanks being totally confused and totally clueless as to like how exactly enter into like the random one. Definitely never very like also for instance as for like so for example like the big mom pirates precisely knew like the entrance path leading to like the land of Mana was like the exact waterfall path. Like I'm also for it might be precisely and totally related to like big mom and kind of being absolutely friends and having their secret kind of like a total bond of like friendship between them even after splitting from like the house then maintaining that friendship maintaining the soul reason like even like before recently, like even before the war, like Pigman even making it to like the Latamano. Like days even before that, like Big Mom Yura, Big Mom Pirates, like not just Big Mom, but like the Big Mom announced her Pirates Pro might have definitely then in like the past as well might have showed up to like the Latamano, even after Kaido split up from the of Pirates and started his rule over like the Latamano. In like the past as well, Big Mom Pirates might have Big Mom along with her Pirates Pro in with their pirate ship might have definitely ended. Uh, into Kairos land in like the system path as well. And that might be the second sole reason for like because of Kaido letting Big Mom even end up. That might be the sole reason for like Big Mom pirates like being able to like like the waterfall paths like the path leading to like the land of Wano. Especially my person else like the other person just basically simply because like Big Mom had even showed up to like the land of Wano precisely like for like the guide of like these pirates as well as the big pirates to like form an alliance to seek for the one is together like because that was like the intent behind Big Mom actually showing up to like the land of Mano and not just like to get revenge on Luffy like about the thing like it might also have to do like so like Big Mom totally secretly they're probably possibly being like an unrevealed phone for separation between like Big Mom and Kaido after like the whole Cake Island incident where like Big Mom might have totally phoned Kaido and told Kaido that like yeah like he feels that she's chasing after uh so like no certain theory impressions that like it might be solely due to like these reasons alone that like the big vampires are pretending you that like the waterfall path was like the path leading to like the land of Mana in like the person. Only path leading to like the land of Mana in like the person. And I'm also trying like as for my own theory as for like the vampire perfectly being able to like make it to like the land of Mana. About the trying to but he has only had to do like and now he's like exceptional navigating sea navigation skills. That's like the sole reason for like them being able to like successfully climb up and making to like the land of Mano. Even with like the land of Mano borders close. But definitely my person remember and my person to remember is that like as for Shanks of case, like even though Shanks is like an emperor of the sea, like he has been an emperor of the sea for even way longer than Luffy. Like and those different still for like the emperor of the sea Shanks as well as like a red hair pirates like even they are like they wouldn't have like any sort of like a navigator in their crew that they would be having like oh obviously they would be having like a navigator in their crew but like that navigator like still would be nowhere even near like comparable to like the exceptional superior navigation skills of Nami especially my experience so that might be the professor reason for like science and like red hat fire ship like especially being found right outside like the coast of like the land of Wano because they are confused and they Shanks totally want to like enter into like the land of Wano but like Shanks simply exactly to retrieve and get back like the get back like the number from the like it's definitely my opinion definitely because definitely my consideration to that and this would be like the precise reason like for like Omonosuke even deciding to like basically keep the land, borders of like the land of like to not bring down like the to not like Momonosuke's thinking after like the after like the war in like the land of Wano was forward to like precisely keep like the borders of like the land of Mano staying up and not to open it like for like the time being. It will be precisely because of Momonosuke as well, exactly like the ancient ancestor Momonosuke, whom according to my personal theory would have most likely had like the future sight ability and so he might have definitely been his wife from like the void century. So like definitely, it might have been especially the ancient ancestor Momonosuke who might have been totally from like the words and who might have been totally like the husband of like precisely Sophie. He might have precisely even sent Sophie out into like the ancient years into like the future. it's also definitely my personal favorite. So like the ancient ancestor moments, and he might have done that precisely after like Joy Boy's death as well. Joy Boy from the Joy Century, it's death as well. It's definitely my personal favorite. So definitely, according to my personal theory, the ancient ancestor monarchy definitely might have had like the future sight ability. Using this, he might have totally seen 800 and even 20 years into like the future, and might have totally seen like that, like might have figured out that like the next Joy Boy will be that Joy Boy will be only making his return through like Luffy and Luffy like a human like in after like precisely 800 years later, and definitely like with like the will of the and everything, definitely Joyboy's actual name would definitely might have had like the in his name. So like it would be definitely a descendant, a long line of descendant like 800 years into like the future would be precisely Luffy, and like that descendant 800 years later would be like the next Joyboy would have been something that through like the exceptional future sight unique future sight future sighting power and ability that like the ancient ancestor dynasty from like the voice century had. He using that power like he might have foreseen, and hence he might have only sent certainly Toki not 820 years into the future, but like he might have only through his future sight he might have only figured that like Toki has to like precisely head off like 800 not an 820, but 800 years into like the future. And Toki won't be ever be able to like even see Joy Boy make it his return through Luffy. But like in order for like Joy Boy to be able to make his return through Luffy, like Toki has to like potentially travel not 820 but 800 years, so that like she would like meet Oden, and basically so that like basically she would have a child with Oden who he likes the next uh, would be like the next moment of stay after like the ancient and the moment of stay would be like the next moment of stay to like encourage power of like future fighting power. And this would be like the precise reason for like would definitely my person that like the weapon flows on presently like this Robin searching for and like the Nandapana would be precisely moment of game. And the precise main reason for like moment of game being like the weapon float on would be precisely because of this power, unique power that moment of game still would be having. This would be like the precise power of like future fighting. Which like the ancient ancestor moment of game from like the voice century might have been like the last float on, and the next photon might have been born in like the present through like the present time moment of case definitely my present present, and it might have been precisely through that future fighting power of moment of case which might have been precisely awakened simultaneously precisely as like Luffy's like Gundam Fruit was had awakened and Luffy turned into Joy Boy. I was mentioned that like simultaneously the other thing that might have happened that absolutely no one might have realized that the for moment of case might have been like moment of case powers as well, proton powers as well might have simultaneously awakened. So like precisely as like Luffy's like Gundam Fruit awakened and Luffy turned into like Joy Boy. So basically moment of case like future fighting powers as well got might have definitely gotten awakened. So like it might have been precisely through currently moment of case would be able to like see into like the future, and it would be precisely through the like proton powers, and it might be precisely through that powers that moment of case might have taken the decision to like keep the borders of the random structure and not to like open like the land borders of the land of in like the current time. It's definitely my personal dimension because like Mominowski might not only foreseen everything like the personal dimension that maybe Mominowski would be well and fully by seeing into like the future Mominowski would be well and fully aware of like basically the current infiltration of like the Rokuju into like the land of and that basically a fight between like Luffy and Rokuju will be soon taking place in like the land of soon either like either in between like the banquet or like by the time the banquet will be over, and maybe like Mominowski even currently at this very moment calling the banquet might be precisely also be due to like Mominous get only expecting like a you to like show up this like villain to like show up Rokuju, and basically for there to be a fight between like this villain Rokuju and Luffy, where like Luffy is only literally overpowering and defeating this Rokuju. So like since like another fight would be taking place in like the land of final. So like before that for like the Luffy and like for precisely Luffy. Because like Momonosuke would be like also through like future fighting like Momonosuke might have only seen that like Luffy currently like so after like having his like Gamba Pro awaken Luffy and turning into Joy Luffy is currently so freaking strong that like even this like villain Rokuju won't be able to like do any harm to like the land of Wano or like the people of like the land of Wano. So due to like Luffy's presence. So like Momonosuke would be like not at all concerned or worried. So like what Momonosuke would be currently doing by holding like the banquet precisely as soon as like Rokuju is like about to make it into like location where like the bank is just taking place. This will be already consciously done by Monopoly, precisely to like give to ensure to like give Lucy that like ultimate banquet and to that way to restore fully through all that food and everything like it fully restored like Lucy's energy right before like Lucy would be having this bad against the refugee. That's definitely my looking very much. So like Monopoly through Monopoly's future writing all this will be like consciously being done by Monopoly. That's definitely my personal point. And precisely also for like the reason for like Monopoly currently precisely deciding to like not open up the borders of like the Natamano will be precisely having to do with like Shanks right now. Present Shanks as well as like the Navy ships as well as like sea to Europe. Even more than that, like Mononoke might have been precisely through its future writing might have been precisely able to see how like Shanks and like the Red Hair Pirates are even more exceptionally stronger than these Navy sea to Europe member as well as just Navy ships waiting outside. Shanks as well as like right now, those only particularly even Blackbeard pirates as well, who might have who had been revealed way back to have set up like as like I think like once like the war and like the land of Mana has began itself like the Blackbeard pirates have set up from I think like the island of Pulla like their current home base to precisely they might have precisely head off to like the land of Mana. So like I'm considering right now without much delay I'm considering Blackbeard pirates as well making it to precisely towards like the land of Mana, but like precisely like the Blackbeard Pirates as well through like sailing their ship and making it to precisely where like Shanks is like a red hair pirate like they would be like in their ship and precisely flawlessly basically on the sea like only and absolutely coached as to like how exactly to enter like the land of Manos. So precisely Blackbeard Pirates as well with like their ship as well precisely coincidentally like precisely showing up to that exact location. It's like the scenario that I was referring. So like that way Blackbeard as well as Shanks seeing eyeing each other and basically I'm considering at that point for definitely the sparks to be blown and basically precisely embracing like an actual pirate ship battle happening between like the red hair pirates and their ship versus like the using like the specified kind of fight using like cannon firing and all that like between Shanks and like the red hair pirates through and like the Blackbeard pirate Blackbeard and like the Blackbeard pirates through like a fight with the totally taking place. That made my because like for the precise reason for both Shanks as well as like Blackbeard showing up to like the land of Mana. You have to like trying to make it most like desperately wanting to like to somehow find a way to like infiltrate into like the land of Mana would be precisely because of that one same common reason. It would be precisely Luffy because precisely Imo might have totally Imo might have precisely and totally was like might have totally precisely secretly summoned according to my person theory like that is sitting on the next might have totally in like Sabas might have like summoned both Blackbeard as well as like Shank into marine jobs at different points in time in like the past and basically might have given them the offer of immortality in exchange for like basically bringing back like Luffy's like jumping through to Inu and Inu might have only told them that like they need to wait until like latest jumping through awakens for them to be able to like get back that Luffy's like jump through might have certainly my person to remember it. So like precisely black known this it might have known just been Shanks that might have been like waiting with the entire time for like Luffy to get strong and select the promise that Shanks made to like Luffy to like get strong like that literally you'll see each other the next time when you get like when you are strong enough like that at that point for Shanks even telling Luffy to like return back his sword have like at that point Shanks totally plans on like basically asking Luffy to like return back what he had taken from that crystal so many years back which is like the website Jamlan Road as well. So that would be changed for that. Like the case for like front black red as well. Like no matter only told like because like no matter definitely just like move definitely would definitely be from like the words in the way like move totally would be known a lot and almost everything about like the powers of like the government fruit and everything and like you might have totally so you might totally know that basically not for like the government fruit to be able to like be returnable like about the butting like so like the limit the generations that like then when like the past when we actually ate like the Jammu fruit and that was Shanks lost like the Gangan fruit to Luffy like even back then like Shanks might have already knew of like had like a rough outline of like a rough outline of like the all sorts of like exceptional powers of like the Gangan fruit and precisely at that point like Shanks might have when Luffy had actually ate the Gangan fruit itself like Shanks might have already realized that Shanks might have already known about like the move on awakening that all sorts of like the kids powers which might be have you know, that might have known like all the details of all the powers that an awakened Gundam Fruit would be having skills, and might have known that like one of those powers an awakened Gundam Fruit would be having would be like the first power to basically using with which like Luffy would be able to like at that point in like the awakened state of like, the Gundam Fruit, like using the awakened powers of the Gundam Fruit, Luffy would be able to like return back the Gundam Fruit to time. So like Shanks would be like well and fully aware of that, and hence why Shanks might not only made Luffy make that for promise to Shanks to like basically get strong up so that like Shanks would be like then asking his like that so that like then Luffy could give Shanks back the back straw hat. So like at that point Shanks would be also planning on asking like the government fruit as well. It's definitely my personal condition. But in the case of Blackbeard, I'm considering multiple possibilities as for like why exactly Blackbeard would have waited the entire time to retrieve back, to basically steal back like with its summer fruit. My personal remember is that like Blackbeard even setting off from full alert precisely as like Blackbeard even heard of like the news that basically Luffy is heading to like the land of Fire and that Pigman is also heading to like the land of Fire. Like basically that from Blackbeard's point of view that my point of view is definitely that like that creates that spark in Blackbeard's mind that this would be most likely the moment for like Luffy's like awakening of like Luffy the moment. So especially my point of view, especially even after like the whole Cake Island incident as well. I'm considering like I think like it was after like the whole cake island incident that basically Luffy was like considered as like the fifth emperor of the sea. But still then like even back then like Blackbeard wasn't like convinced enough that Blackbeard back then Blackbeard was like totally not so convinced and it's even it's because the reason for Blackbeard even feeling as if like feeling kind of like convinced as if like Luffy has not like Blackbeard even being able to like foresee that basically to be Blackberry being able to tell that basically Luffy is not actually worthy of like being like the of like the position of the fifth member of the sea back then after like the whole cake island incident turned Luffy into like the fifth member of the sea. Will be precisely because of like Blackbeard already knowing about like the awakening powers of like the Gundam Force. This might have been told to Blackbeard maybe through it's like a one possible attempt of the brain. So precisely through that information that basically Blackbeard might not only figure that basically like the whole cake it's like Luffy had actually awakened like the Gundam Fruit back in like during like the whole cake island incident news like basically had Luffy actually awakened like the Gundam Fruit, Luffy would be single handedly easily be able to like defeat him. Might be one thing that Blackbeard really absolutely sure of. So Blackbeard through his like so like maybe Blackbeard have secret connection to like Morgans and everything and that may be how Blackbeard might have totally figured out about like basically Big Mom basically chasing after Luffy and heading off to like the land of Wano. It's definitely my book in the Ram right. So like I'm going to bring like anyway like at that point so like this might be the reason that they really want like Blackbeard heard of like the news that they really so that like it's only being like the point where Blackbeard getting excited and deciding to like leave the island of Polar Air only being like the point when he heard of sound of like the news and realized that basically of Big Mom like of Luffy heading off to like the land of Mana and Big Mom as well heading off to like the land of Mana and Kaido as well heading like the land of Mana. It's definitely my cousin because like that combination of like Luffy possibly having to like that combination of that whole situation at that point from Luffy to possibly have the forced like fight off against two Emperor of the Sea like that kind of like a situation would be like a situation that we suddenly forcing Luffy like Gundam Fruit to be getting awakened actually and fully awakened. Might have been something that Blackbeard might have only figured at that point on hearing that news itself. And that might be the reason for Blackbeard only at that point getting like fully excited and deciding to like head off with his like Blackbeard by fruit from like the island of Full to like the land of Mino, precisely during that time. It's definitely my personal so in the case of Blackbeard, as for like so it because of this reason of my grammar issues were like Blackbeard was like exactly waiting this entire time for like Luffy's like Gundam to be to get awakened to definitely my grammar and it might have been precisely from like the point that Blackbeard might have been secretly summoned by Inu and Inu might have revealed Blackbeard about like maybe like Imo might have only told Blackbeard about like Imo wanting like the Gundam Fruit alone. Like Imo might have not even told Blackbeard anything about like the powers of like the Gundam Fruit or anything like because Imo so badly wanted like the Gundam Fruit. Like Imo might have decided to like not make like the Gundam Fruit look that much like appealing to Blackbeard so that like to totally prevent like the possibility of Blackbeard like betraying Imo and like stealing and making taking the Gundam Fruit for himself. So like all Imo might have told Blackbeard might have been like Imo might have not only just summoned Blackbeard and told Blackbeard that like Imo needs like the Gamma Fruit, and in exchange, like if Blackbeard does that in exchange, like will be granted Blackbeard immortality. Might be only thing like might have said like, but Blackbeard like on seeing might have been like for the first time might have realized that there's like such like a top ruler of like the entire world. Like there only at that point that Blackbeard might have realized the existence of like the top ruler of the entire world, which is in fact like a Blackbeard's ultimate goal to be like the king of the entire world. So when Blackbeard saw for like the first time, my person the realization like what Blackbeard might have seen in might have been like the current present king of like the world in the first person that he has to like the campaign played to be like the for him to achieve his goals as like the king of like the world. So like considering like for someone like that, someone with like such absolute power for that, someone like that to be so to find like the common truth. So it's really important to be so desperate for like the common truth. Definitely like they might have only figured that the so like the common truth would definitely be an exceptionally special and extremely powerful devil fruit. Maybe like the most powerful devil fruit in like the world might have been what Blackbeard might have figured, and Blackbeard might have only also might have studied all guns of course already, and especially since Blackbeard that way would be totally knowing of like the awakening powers that like within Devil Souls, like I was delivering Blackbeard might have totally figured that like for like the like Lucy's, and since like Blackbeard has already in like the past has fought Lucy, and like back then like Blackbeard might have not at all felt like the Lucy's Gumbo Fruit has any special or powerful Devil Fruit at all. But then Blackbeard after like meeting him, like Blackbeard might have totally figured that is because it might have been maybe precisely like for like the awakening stage. Once like Lucy's Gumbo Fruit reaches its awakening stage, it will be only at that point that the true powers of like the Gumbo Fruit will be unleashed. The true exceptional, most powerful powers of like the Gumbo Fruit would be unleashed, which would be precisely what Imo would be after. Might have been something that Blackbeard might have only figured. So like about the current, so precisely because of since that point, like Blackbeard might have been patiently waiting for like Luffy's Gundam Fruit to awaken for then for Blackbeard to like exactly steal Luffy's like awakened Gundam Fruit using his like dark powers, and basically for Blackbeard to like take that use make that Gundam Fruit like awakened Gundam Fruit power like his own, and basically for Blackbeard to like use that power against like to like fight against like and fight and defeat like and like the five elders, so that like then Blackbeard would be able to like forcefully steal like immortal powers. This would be like Blackbeard's ultimate plan. It's definitely my person to remember. So like this like so it will be precisely because of like the reason that I'm considering that Blackbeard might have like precisely patiently waited to because like that unlike Shanks, like Blackbeard has like the power which within Starcraft, so Blackbeard exactly like how Blackbeard like straight away like really stole like Whitebeard's like from a code, like Blackbeard could have in the entire time after meeting him, Blackbeard could have straight away like search for like Luffy, and Blackbeard could have shortly left off to like find Ludwig and basically straight away steal his like Gundam sword. But like especially Blackbeard waited this entire time for Ludwig's Gundam sword to be awakened, so that like only at that point for like Blackbeard to make his move. So it's definitely what might have the Blackbeard might have been doing this entire time. It's definitely my reaction. So precisely because of like the current situation and was literally but insistent Blackbeard knowing of like basically the war in like the land of Ireland. Like, basically Shanks and Big Mom like possibly like heading off to like the land of Ireland, like Straw Hat Fire like seriously heading to like the land of Ireland. Blackbeard might not only figure that this would be like the moment when Luffy's Gundam Fruit is going to be awakened. So like as soon as like Luffy's Gundam Fruit awakens, like Blackbeard wants to like scale Luffy's Gundam Fruit. So like Blackbeard will be currently probably heading would be making without much delay would be making it to like the land of Ireland to near the coast of like the land of Ireland. At that point, like the whole fight between the Shanks and Blackbeard will be taking place. So like with that such strong pirates like showing up close to like the land of Ireland, like moment of escape to someone who would have totally been able to like see forward into this like precise future that basically moment of escape and opens up like the borders of like the land of Ireland. Precisely like, according to his like father Gordon's like wish, then what would be happening would be precisely these strong pirates like pirate emperors like Shanks as well as Blackbeard like entering into like the land mano and then totally attacking Luffy. So like that would be like too much for Luffy to handle. Might have been like all this like Momonosuke using his like float on future sighting powers might have been only able to see, and this might be like the sole reason for like Momonosuke deciding to keep the borders of like, the land of Wano always stuck. So like I'm considering Momonosuke might have also figured out like his plan to like precisely how to like Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates like make their ultimate stealthy and safe escape out of like the land of Mano without running into like Shanks and Blackbeard. So I'm going to bring like what Momonosuke would be essentially doing would be I'm going to bring like right now Momonosuke I'm going to bring like Momonosuke's decision right now would be to like precisely ensure to like make that to provide that safe escape for like Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates like from like the land of Wano. And I'm considering like specifically what Momonosuke would be doing would be like specifically like even though the entire borders of like the land of Wano would be open, like I'm considering Momonosuke totally figuring out like by now would have totally figuring out like it might have figured out like most likely in that palace that Orochi ruled over like there would definitely be some sort of a liver or like some sort of like a liver or something that would be like opening up a certain to open up a certain specific portion a certain specific point of like the borders surrounding borders of among like surrounding borders of the land of Manam. There will be like a certain secret exit passageway from out of like the land of Manam. And it was only that part of like the bonus alone that I'm considering Momonosuke by using this lever, like by pulling this lever, will be precisely opening so like that way through that secret exit passageway out of like the land of Mano, precisely Momonosuke, and like giving that safe exit journey for Luffy and crew. And that way I'm considering like while I'm considering a scenario in which like Blackbeard as well as Shanks while they would be like totally fighting over their desires to like steal Luffy's like Gambang crew. I'm considering Shanks as well as Blackbeard like having their whole like ship war, like pirate war in like the middle of the sea close to like the land of Mana. While while this would be happening, like Luffy and like Gohat pirates would be perfectly leaving, like this monarch itself would be perfectly leaving and exiting like the land of Mana in like the precise opposite direction of like the land of Mana. And that way, like both Shanks and Blackbeard won't be able to like even realize that as Luffy would have made their escape. And about Super by the time like Shanks and Blackbeard would be realizing about it, like about the brain, like it was only at that point that the war between like the war between Shanks and Blackbeard would even be ending, and like they would get only and even though like they would be only be able to like figure out that basically Luffy has, and the Sohet Pirates have just like the land of Pirates. Still, the Blackbeard, both Blackbeard as well as still check the borders of the land of Pirates will be remaining close. And so still, Shanks and Blackbeard would still have no idea like where exactly Luffy and the Sohet Pirates have left from the land of Pirates. So like I'm considering without an idea, without any clue, like, but still, this like the only realization that like Luffy and Sohei pirates have basically left like the land of Iron and go to different Shanks and like they're ending their war because like then both finding their war pointers and since like their only focus would be precisely on the Gumbo, getting the Gumbo through. So like the Shanks with Blackbeard war that would be progressing at that point. I'm considering at that point, like until that point, like like the war was progressing, I'm considering so war to totally end up in a tie with like none of like the pirate crew from both sides of like the Shanks with like pirates as well as like Blackbeard crew as well. None of them like they would be only taking like none of them would be taking in sort of extremely serious injury or anything, or none of them would even be dying. There would be only the whole war between Shanks crew as well as Blackbeard crew would be like ending up in a tie by that point, and where like both of them would be like simultaneously like agreeing to basically end the war and basically like search for like search to find Luffy. So like in their separate ways. So like it will and the different it will be more likely the mindset of like a race like and the different with like the mindset of a race like Blackbeard as well as Shanks like heading off without like them having absolutely no idea like where exactly Luffy and the Pride Pirates were when like I'm different. So therefore desperation to like find like and steal the Gumbo for like both Shanks as well as Blackbeard heading off in two different directions. It's like the mental scenario that I'm talking about, and that being like how like the war being between like Shanks and Blackbeard will be ending. It's also definitely my person to Ramarajah. So like the definitely my person to Ramarajah, but like the enders definitely it might see like not be on like the very same page as like when it comes to like a craving like Lucas like definitely my person to Ramarajah. Precisely my person to Ramarajah, even though the most like ultimate goal would be like to protect here, ensure that and like no matter what the risk, no matter what the cost, like to precisely retrieve Luffy's like Gum fruit and base awaken while it's in its like awakened form and like then for most likely Emu might maybe even want like the desire like the power to be able to like it might not just be to like seal away like the Gambling Fruit so that like absolutely no one will be finding it. Like I'm wondering maybe the most goal would be to like attain like that because like from like the voice in the ring, you might have only witnessed like how exceptionally strong like the government and awakened Gambling Fruit would be making like a thousand goals like had made joy by back in like the voice center. So like he might have been desperately desiring for that power of like the Gumbo Fruit to make that ultimate power of the Gumbo awaken Gumbo Fruit Emu's form. Like because like the Gumbo Fruit would definitely be the strongest level soul. So like Emu might desperately want all that strength. So so that like so that like on top of immortality mode would be also having like that ultimate power, not just as a power as in like position, but like you might actually want like power as in like actual physical combat power as well. That would be like that one thing that Emu might that even with like Emu being in such a powerful position, this would be that one thing that Emu might have never been able to like attain. So all this entirety of like this from like the voice in the event to like the players. So like this one might be like that extreme frustration that might lie within like over this past 800 years that's like the predator tries to like find like the gamma fruit, but like the master with like, the gamma fruit evading Emo with like 800 years like might want that ultimate power of like joy by for Emo. So that like that ultimate power like basically would be able to like do exactly as in a place of like very exactly as with like the ultimate power like would have like would simply able to do exactly as please like they really wouldn't even need like the world government like by herself at that point with like the awakened power of the Celeste coming to will be like forcefully just step out into like the world and basically like forcefully by herself would be able to like imprison everyone like and do all sorts of similar things as places would be like what would be things. So like would want that ultimate power of like to obtain and make it that ultimate power of like the superior power of the government for itself. It's definitely my personal consideration. So my personal consideration that like the as for like the five elders like they would be like a bit more of like a fearful people who are like a bit more afraid of like the exceptional powers of like the Viking convertibles because they too like their does as well might have been actually from like the Virgin and they might have also witnessed like the exceptional power of like that the Gambam Court had granted joy by from like the Virgin. So like I'm referring in the case of like the elders like they might have secretly tried to like basically it might have been through like the precise secret orders of the elders like that they had made without like while them trying to ensure that like Timo doesn't find out like they might have secretly ordered like the features or given the order to like the features or member to like protect that short features or member to like precisely uh, to use in to like precisely take Luffy's life before like Luffy's like jump through awakens as Luffy was like fighting off against Kaido. It's definitely my personal hence why his like secret his thing like the features remember being forced to like infiltrate into like the Kaido's Luffy bad like that was basically might have been the precise orders given by the elders with like the precise intent to like basically at least like to precisely to like stop Luffy from turning into like Joy Boy like at the cost of basically once again losing like the Gundam Fruit to the world like basically the one Gundam Fruit that has evaded like all of them for like the past 800 years like basically the at that point like as Luffy was like as Donica was like floating into like the land of Mana and like Luffy was about to turn into and as Donica was about to cross into like the land of Mana precisely Amber's labor thing like especially the elders could totally straight away tell that Luffy was about to turn into like the so like they might have the elders alone might have totally panicked and they might have totally kept this information hidden about like them giving the secret orders to like the series about to like precisely the precise intent to like take Luffy's life before like Luffy could awaken to like Amber's throat and turn into Jojo. It's technically famous. But like once that attempt of like the elders failed like the next thing they might have done might have been precisely so like multiple emotions and like once like the five elders like people are attempt to like take Lucy's life had failed and basically Lucy had turned into joy by like once that news reached like the elders like at that point like the elders like next strategy might have been precisely to like attack Nico Robin so that like through Nico Robin like basically just like Nico Robin can read like the conflict they might have only have little fear that basically since like Lucy has already turned into joy by and that they have access to that ultimate power superior power and on top of that, like if Lucy through Robin like finds out about like the void century and like Joy Boy and like the investors and basically everything that basically the true villains hiding behind like the world government and the sense the dragons are like the elders as well as like if like so far that might have been like a comfort and safety that they might have felt that basically Even though while Luffy might have had like the common proof, like still like the fact that Luffy doesn't know anything at all, like that fact that Luffy only knows up until like the world government and self dragons, like the fact that Luffy doesn't know anything beyond that, that basically about like the five elders as well as like being like the true villains and being like the true villains from even back like the void century and everything, and the true villains behind all the injustice and slavery and everything happening in like the present world as well and everything. So that like the five elders on realizing that Luffy had turned into like awakened his Gum of Throat and turned into Joy Boy. Like at that point, like the elders might have totally panicked and like their highest priority at that point, they might have already the highest priority at that point might have been precisely to like get Nico Robin away from Joy Boy as Luffy Joy Boy as soon as possible, so that like to Robin like possibly Luffy to that way to prevent like Luffy from figuring out his like true enemies and villains are like about like the elders and humans. Definitely my person friend, for instance. So like that precisely that like what like the elders might have done by might be like really them precisely phoning like the people and from different like precisely and at that point, my business remember that like the elders matter use two strategies using like the feature zero, like using like the absolute stealth and everything of like the feature zero to like precisely stealthily and quickly attack Nico Robin and get that way get Nico Robin away from Joy Boy. And like the other strategy that the elders might have used might have been precisely by the elders precisely phoning Shanks is definitely my business remember. Shanks is like present in like close to like the land of Malone close to the coast of the land of Panam might be precisely due to like the orders given to Shanks by precisely the elders to precisely bring down not to precisely bring down Luffy, but like the elders would be like well fully aware about like giving Shanks like the task to like precisely get like the like Jamnon sword back from Luffy. So like those orange was super like maybe through the elders like the news about like Luffy Jamnon Fruit awakening and Luffy turning into Joe, they might have also reached like Imo as well. By then it's definitely also might have been jealous. So like maybe it might have been either Imo or like the elders that might have only phone stands to like precisely show up to like the land panel quickly as possible. And like luckily Shanks during that time, even though Shanks might have not had like any idea as to like what was going on in the land panel, like Blackbeard, like Shanks still might have been like coincidentally might have been perfectly during the while the war in like the land panel might have been taking place, like maybe Shanks might have so like definitely not in the restrictions and like even though Shanks might have been like always like in that time my Shanks might have been like following Luffy like still like I'm just like maybe like it might be through like the news that like maybe right now that's also like about the episode. Maybe it might be through like the news like Shanks might have already figured that Luffy is like a eventually no matter what Luffy does like Luffy eventually ends up being like a troublemaker and makes the news each and time. So like I'm also wondering like Shanks might have been like someone might have gotten like after a while might have only gotten like relax a bit about like in Luffy's case and might have only figured that basically no matter where Luffy goes, like Luffy is going to like make news wherever he goes and basically that way Chance will be able to like precisely follow after Luffy that way like where exactly like the last news about Luffy is like about like where exactly like Luffy has created like the last trouble like basically that will be like the precise last location of Luffy and that will be the precise location Chance will be planning on like heading off towards so like that we eventually falling and Richard Paris might have precisely slowly like followed around Luffy's entire time throughout like Luffy's journey, especially my booking and so like I'm precisely the while like the war in Onigashima might have been taking place like Shanks and like the Red Pirates might have been in like the whole cake island precisely because of like the moment like the news about like Luffy being like the fifth member of Luffy and about like the whole cake island incident like when that news through Morgan had been like reached like the entire world like Shanks through the news might have found this news and might have decided to like head off to Whole Cake Island and stay somewhere near Whole Cake Island. So, name it was but like what might have happened might have been precisely one like the attempts of like the elders to like prevent to take Luffy's like through Luffy to remember infiltrating into like Luffy's kind of item basically that attempt failed and Luffy turned into like Joy Boy. And Luffy's come out fruit awakened and Luffy turned into Joy Boy. Like at that point I was referring like the elders who might have only known about like the deal between like Kimo and Shanks and Imo and Blackbeard. Like at that point I was referring like the elders might have precisely so like the Klima consideration that like the elders might have not really known about like the deal between Emo and Blackbeard, but like since like the elders had in fact like when like Shanks and like Simba was summoned into Marinjo, like the Shanks had totally seen like the elders, like that's already seen Shanks, like I'm remembering the deal between Emu and Shanks might be something that the elders might be aware of that, but like the secret deal between like Emu and Blackbeard to like exactly get also to like the get like Luffy's Gumbo food to like Emu might be something that the elders might not be aware of. So like I'm considering it that precisely as like the elders shockingly found out that Luffy has awakened to like a move of like earlier the elders might have typically phoned Shanks like along with like phoning like the sequel to remember to like get back like the to basically abduct the core of it like I'm considering like the might have been precisely the elders like even before that like the elders might have precisely phoned like it definitely went over the ambitions that when they took them fruit, they shared away and took them fruit and they had turned into give by like the very first thing that I'm considering might have been precisely the very first thing that might have actually done might have been precisely they might have precisely phoned Shank, like who might have right then like might have been present near to like the whole cake island. So like I'm considering like the might have precisely phoned Shank and might have told Shank that basically and basically has awakened his like finally awakened his like Jumbo fruit. So like basically you have to like go up there into like the land of and collect like the Jumbo fruit in the tree. So this might be how like I'm considering things like from like the moment Lucy had awakened to like Jumbo fruit and turned into like Joy Boy and we are by at that point the like sense might have started off along with like Fireship and Red Hellfire crew like might have set off their journey from Cold Lake Island and that might be how like currently Shanks might have like only now Shanks have basically made it to like the coast of like to the area of coast of like the land of Pano is definitely my personal reimbursement and slowly looking for a way to like enter like the land of Pano. That's definitely my personal reimbursement, which would be what Shanks would be currently doing. It's definitely my personal reimbursement. But in the case of Blackbeard, in the case of Blackbeard, I'm considering like things like the elders would have absolutely no idea like as to the connection between like as for like in assigning Blackbeard as well the mission to like get like the new proof from Luffy like so like they end up that way without the knowledge of that connection between Nemo and Blackbeard like it end up might have definitely not called Blackbeard but in the case of like Blackbeard what might have happened might have been Blackbeard might have definitely well, their impression definitely that Blackbeard has have knows the value of Morgans like how exceptionally no, Morgan's like exceptional news collecting skills and everything might be something that like Blackbeard might not only trigger. So like I'm considering Blackbeard might be totally seeing like Morgan's as like a valuable valuable a character to like to get to be just like ally or to get to be his own Blackbeard side. It's definitely my purpose. So like to basically get like all the latest news and updates like before anybody else would be getting like not for Blackbeard to like stay updated on Wiki and get all the latest news concerning Wiki and everything. So this might be precisely how Fred Morgan remember something like that how that like whole bond between like Blackbeard and Morgan that Blackbeard might have created well might have been precisely at that point when like I'm remembering back when like at the distant past like when Morgan had got into a certain trouble and someone was like some sort of a villain was trying to like assassinate Morgan's like at that point like I'm remembering still for like Morgan's to be survive even after that dangerous situation might have been solely and solely due to like the Blackbeard pirates. Definitely my position on it. Might have been back then it might have been supposedly Blackbeard and his like pirate crew that might have protected saved Morgan's. And that way like a bond of like a great good bond might have been formed with secret bond might have been formed between like Morgan as well as Blackbeard. That is definitely my position and hence through that bond like Morgan might be like leaking all of like the latest news updates connecting to like not just Luffy but like connecting to like all the happenings of Marijo and everything to precisely and it might not just be Blackbeard like there might be like that top secret people behind the shadows that basically Morgan would have the set of the people that Morgan would be having like a great bond with like that Morgan would be like secretly leaking all of it like late news to first before like in creating like the papers and like spreading the news to like the rest of the world, especially my global connection. And that way like actually through that bond of friendship that like might secretly exist between like Blackbeard and Morgan's like would be precisely how Blackbeard would way back precisely as like Sigmund was like setting off to like the land, chasing after the and setting off to like the land of kind of even right then like basically precisely for Blackbeard like instantly get that miss even while all the way and like such a distant location while Blackbeard's in all the way out there in like such a different location in like the island of Full like still about the brain, what might have happened would be like Morgans might have certainly found uh, Blackbeard using the redundancy and might have like revealed this info to like Blackbeard. Certainly not going to be this. Hence why Blackbeard got that information very precisely from Morgan. It's definitely my person divine version. Also like my person divine version that I'm thinking about is that like Bucky currently being promoted all the way to like being like a member of the would be precisely and stealthily done by precisely like the world government through like remote orders. It's definitely my person divine version. Definitely, it will be like giving the order to the elder giving the orders to the dragon giving the orders, most likely giving the orders to like the world government, and that way might have been precisely how Buggy might have been like promoted all the way to and made turned into all of a sudden from like a warlord to an emperor of the sea. It's definitely not the consideration. So and even back when like Buggy was even like promoted to being like all of a sudden being like a warlord of the sea, which I think happened like basically even then like campus different that might have totally been done perfectly to precisely that might have also had like an importance when it comes to like basically spying on Luffy. It's also like a possibility that was different. But anyway, like currently as Buggy is like at that extreme top position of seeing like one of the member of he definitely the world government have definitely played their role behind that happening. And definitely so like Buggy is currently like a spy emperor of like the sea of like a spy of Imo that's like a placeholder ember of the sea. It's definitely my personal render. Buggy is just like Buggy's only job currently would be to like the best job given by Inu to like Buggy to like precisely track down Luffy and as soon as possible track down Luffy and like get Luffy to like either Shanks or Blackbeard. Just definitely get that information that track down Luffy and get that information about like the whereabouts of Luffy to like especially with stealthy manner to either Blackbeard or Shanks. And basically so that like they would be able to like quickly make it to where Luffy is. Like this would be like that only like order that might have Emu might have totally assigned. And I'm going to remember Emu might have stealthily even summoned like most likely maybe even summoned like Buggy to like the Holy Land of Marijan and like Buggy might have also seen like the Emperor, seen the elders of also definitely my person today. And Buggy by now might have also talked to like him, is also definitely my person today. So you might have only offered Buggy like immortality. So all my person today impression that I'm still thinking about. So, Buggy's ultimate goal Buggy currently won't be even interested in like any sort of pressure or even like the One Piece or anything at all. Like Buggy would be only obsessed with like attaining immortality, which like you might have only offered Buggy in like exchange of like doing this work for him for like basically getting tracking down Luffy and getting Luffy to like either kinds of Blackbeard. Certainly my personal favorite. So like the current four emperors of the sea would be like just emperor of the sea just in name. It's definitely except for Luffy, like the current remaining three emperor of the sea would be like only emperor of the sea. That would be just emperor of the sea just in name. Like while each and every single one of those three emperor of the sea wouldn't be like not at all confident in their abilities. Like it would just be Buggy alone. Like even Shanks as well as Blackbeard will be like uh, supposedly will be just immortality by name who are like characters who don't have any sort of faith or like a confidence in their own strength and would be like currently uh, at like the position of like the Emperor of the Sea while like their just like their only goal being to like precisely track down Luffy and steal like the Luffy's like corner track and corner and steal Luffy's like take back Luffy's jump on those like the cleaners of the impressions were like among like the current four Emperor of the Sea it will be only Luffy and Luffy alone would be like the only actual who would be like actually worthy of like the position of like the Emperor of the Sea would be like Luffy would be like the only Emperor of the Sea so he's just not Emperor of the Sea just by name. While in the case of like Shanks, Blackbeard as well as Buggy, my passenger is that like they will be all just Emperor of the Seas by just by name and not by access, especially because of like Shanks as well as like Buggy would be most likely simply just work just for image, just with their obsession for immortality. They would be like currently only just workers of image and workers or like subordinates of image. While in the case of like the Emperor of the Sea, and even in like the case of Blackbeard as well, my person to remember the flag that Blackbeard as well is like only an Emperor of the Sea by name. It's solely due to like Blackbeard don't even have wouldn't be even having like any sort of like confidence in his own strength and his own abilities and his own current possessing his developed powers and his own brilliance and everything. And Blackbeard currently would be someone who totally believe that like even though like the government force definitely might be like the strongest developer in like the world still Blackbeard would be totally a slave to that whole idea of that whole concept that basically Blackbeard would be totally like having like that absolute lack of like the confidence in his own skills and his own brilliance and his own strategies that like even while Gamma that's like the strongest thing like the world exists like Blackbeard would be totally a slave to that concept that basically Blackbeard would have totally given up. So like my consider impressions that like even in Blackbeard's case as well, Blackbeard as well would be like currently only an member of the team only by name precisely because of like Blackbeard precisely after like Blackbeard on finding out like most likely having find out that basically being so like the ultimate thing of like current thing of like the world being so desperate for like the government so like that way like they might totally assume like so assume that so like the government would be like the strongest developer in like the world so like just because of that sole fact like that we might have totally given up on all his like outsmarting skills like his strategical ultimate strategical planning and his like outsmarting skills and his like brilliance and everything his confidence and everything to that way to be able to like use his own current devil fruits and everything to still be able to like outsmart Luffy and still be able to like outsmart and overpower Luffy, who would be posting like the strongest ever for like even Blackbeard not singing along such lines and basically Blackbeard won't be like singing along such lines and Blackbeard would have given everything up and basically with like the soul goal that like he on his own skills and brilliance and everything and basically might be currently of like the mindset that like he would only be able to like he would only ever be able to like be like victim of the world only if he has like the stronger ultimate strongest the alone the government route alone would be along the line Blackbeard would be thinking that way Blackbeard as well as like an emperor of the sea would be like totally lacking that absolute confidence in themselves is definitely my personal impression. And hence like Blackbeard as well, like currently just being like an emperor of the sea in name alone, just while we too like would be like totally not trying to like get stronger or like create like new strategies to like basically to fight off against like other emperor of the sea or anything like that. There as well would be currently only an emperor of the sea that basically living to like just steal the Gangnam fruit and make it the song just to precisely exactly like Shanks and Buggy like Blackbeard as well just being reduced to like another emperor of the sea that's precisely just chasing after and targeting Luffy alone. It's definitely my passenger impression, and hence why my passenger that will be like the current situation of Blackbeard as well. It's definitely my passenger, and then certainly because of that reason, like Blackbeard as well, probably being reduced to just being like would be like most likely being currently being would be like just reduced to like an emperor of the sea only by just name. It's definitely my passenger impression. So like definitely no passenger impression right now is that like even when Shanks currently was like in like a tone of concern after like Rocky infiltrating into like the land of Pano and like Chance talked lovingly about like Hiyori as well as like Momo like growing up like especially that was the reason that still all that would be like all that tone of concern and basically all that loving tone of like then Chance remembers like Momo and Hiyori like basically so that would be absolutely fake. It's definitely my personal impression. Like Shanks genuinely got in like the current definitely Shanks like the only thing in Shanks' mind would be like just getting back the government fruit and basically handing over the government fruit to like and basically like getting that ultimate like immortality. That would be the only thing in like Shanks' mind. And even if like the like such very same Momonosuke and Hiyori uh, them even currently even stands in like trying to say from Shank even being able to like get like the government growth from beauty that Shank my brother that Shank wouldn't even think twice about taking their life. Not only their life like but the fact even if like Odin was alive today like and Odin tried to set told Shanks to like not to like basically ask for like the government growth from Lucy then Shanks would even think twice about taking Odin's life as well and like they trying to force his way into like trying to forcefully take like the number growth from duty. He definitely might open the average. So the number growth is like the only thing in scientific mind and all this like basically like concern seeming like dialogues and basically just like loving seeming like thoughts connecting to like Momo and like a theory and all that. To be like absolutely fake. It's definitely one of the average. So like definitely one of the average for like the concern of science connecting to like Rocky would be solely due to like uh due to like Shanks by now like being like most likely having been informed by the elders about like the war in like the land of Mana and how Luffy has turned into like and that how Luffy has turned into Joy Boy but like Luffy has defeated Kaido and all that like basically So like definitely Shanks currently would be like only expecting Luffy to like basically even though like the war is over and so many places are like still for Luffy to like see the exhausted from like the war in like the land of Wano. So precisely solely due to that reason, like even though Luffy has like the Gamma fruit and even though Luffy has the power and basically when the power has awakened of like the Gamma fruit, still like because of that extreme exhaustion and extreme injury that Shanks might be most likely thinking that most likely Luffy will be even currently will be having like especially solely due to that reason, like Rocky possibly with like Rocky infiltrating into like the land of and like Rocky possibly Rocky fights off against Luffy, like Rocky possibly being able to like take advantage of that extreme exhaustion and injury of Luffy to like be able to like offer and defeat Luffy and take possibly take Luffy's life. And if that happens, like the Jumbo Road will be once again lost to like the world, and Shanks won't be able to like get his hands on like if Luffy dies, like it's not definitely my point to remember is that Shanks won't even care if like Luffy lives or Luffy dies, but like my opinion is that the only concern of Shanks is that like if Luffy dies, like the Jumbo Road of within Luffy would be like lost to like the world, and that way Shanks would be like losing his chance at like giving that finding that Gundam sword and handing it over to like and getting like immortality. This would be like the only and sole reason for Shanks' current concern to connecting to like Rocky use definitely not taking the understand. So like the other opportunity that I'm looking for the thing is that like basically Shanks even knowing of like a Rocky use infiltration to like the land of Dragon on those different Shanks first of all my thought is that Shanks wouldn't even know like the character of Rocky use. Like Shanks might not only see like Rocky use flying into like the land of Dragon. So like just by seeing like the Admiral costume of like the Admiral, like uniform of the Admiral itself, Shanks might have only been able to like chance might only use like a binocular or something to like spot like a rocket at a far away distance, like flying into like the land panel. So like just by saying like the admiral's costume, like basically Shanks might have probably figured that it's like an admiral. Like and more than that, like as to the identity of like the admiral, Shanks might not even know. It's definitely my own flavor. So Shanks might have like definitely especially since like Shanks has Yasuo in his crew. Like basically Yasuo who's like some currently way too superiorly even to the percentage Yasuo would be like way too superiorly skilled than Usopp. Even when Usopp as well can like have such exceptional sniping skills and can shoot down the targets from such a far away distance. Like yet, precisely Yasop, like even while Shanks shows this concern, like basically Yasop, Shanks not even ordering Yasop to like precisely shoot at precisely a rope to do like would be precisely a conscious decision by Shanks, precisely taken precisely because of like Shanks. Even while Shanks will be has that bit of concern like right now, considering like Shanks still won't be like expecting or predicting at all. Shanks definitely won't be expecting at all for like that such admiral, mysterious admiral that's like heading to like the land of Honor to like actually attack Luffy or fight like capture Luffy. Precisely that's usually like the other possibility that I'm different. Precisely because like the elders might not only informed about like uh Shanks about like Luffy turning into like Luffy awakening his seventh force when Luffy might have totally done that. So like I'm considering like maybe Shanks might have totally figured that basically by like even like once like Shanks ship had closed, Shanks might have only figured like basically since like Luffy has like awakened like the government so like basically like the world government wouldn't be simply so foolish enough to like basically even though Luffy like has defeated Cairo like still but the total Shanks might have only felt that basically even though like Luffy might have that would be also like even though Luffy might have taken like might be exhausted and taken a lot of injury from like that sword fight against Kaido still by now like there's always like the possibility that Luffy might have like recovered to a certain extent also it's like maybe along the lines Chance will be thinking so like Chance will only think that basically the world government simply won't be like foolish enough to like basically like with like even being like concerned about like uh like someone like who's like the king of the world like basically even desperately desiring for like Luffy's like awakened Gundam throats and basically Luffy currently being like the perfect person possessing that ultimate power and yet for like the Shanks will be totally thinking that the world government would be simply foolish enough to like basically send a single admiral to like essentially capture Luffy and basically uh, bring Luffy to like to Marigold to Emu or anything. So like Shanks will be taking the thing that the world government would simply won't be like foolish enough to like send a single admiral to achieve such a task. So such a mission. So like I'm different Shanks might be currently totally thinking that like it might be a different mission of like the world government. And I'm different Shanks might by now Shanks might totally know of like each of like might have totally studied about like each like the members of like the Straw Hat Pirate crew So like Shanks might have precisely learned about Nico Robin and might have only figured that might have might thoroughly know of like the have like the knowledge about like Nico Robin possibly like Nico Robin having like the ability to like read phone English. And Ambassador maybe it might be either Shanks like studying Nico Robin and basically figuring out like Nico Robin is from O'Hara somehow and basically that way. Or like it might have been perfectly the elders that might have even told Shanks that basically even if it's like Shanks currently even showing up to like the land of Anno basically. Maybe that might have been also like the through like the orders of like the elders while that he has awakened his governor. So like right then like elders might have also told the Shanks that basically it might be different strategies in which like elders might be using to like basically get the number throat as well as Nico Robin. It's definitely one of those miracles. So maybe like in that order of like the elders to Shanks, like they might have told Shanks that basically Shanks has to like not only get back the Gummo throat but Shanks has to also capture or take the life of like Nico Robin. Might have been like one other order that like the world government might have given Shanks. So like I'm possible maybe like the chance would be totally thing along first line to like base that basically currently with like this like admiral basically the government admiral basically heading off to like the land of Mano. It might lead to like exactly the mission given to that admiral to precisely not attack or capture Luffy but like to precisely stealthily abduct or like take the life of Nico Robin. It would be solely to like to that mission alone that basically that Akbaran would be heading off to like the land of Mano. Would be also like the other possibility of like what Shanks would be currently thinking is definitely my consideration. And hence why most likely Shanks, even while knowing well about like the Admiral currently, even after just Shanks seeing like the Admiral currently like entering into like the land of Mano, basically Shanks not even ordering like yeah so like basically this is like exceptional sniper skills like basically attack like the admiral would be because of this reasons definitely my position chance we're only expecting that that admiral's target currently won't be like Luffy and would be most likely Nico Robin was definitely my position basically I'm definitely sticking to my position that like even after like Luffy's like eventual fight against the of you like the land of Wano is taking place and like, Luffy will be eventually defeating of you and then Luffy and the Squad Pirates would be like, and definitely I'm considering after like the fight between like Luffy and Rockyun that without much delay at all, like Luffy and like the Squad Pirates and definitely referring to Yamato Yamato and Jinbei that would be totally quickly without much delay would be leaving like the land of Wano. Certainly, when the student is taking on to the because of like basically so like the figures of Rocky fight like I'm totally covering Rocky totally without realizing like that absolute brotherhood between like Luffy and Sabo, like Rocky would only both think about like the skills and like how he might have certainly Rocky might have been the first person who might not only work out and defeated Sabo and might not only resulted in like Sabo currently definitely might have definitely not died, but like would be in like an important state. But like the rest of the world would be totally believing that like the news that might have been like a fake news that might have spread throughout like the rest of the world. Even while Morgan would be like claiming himself as to like someone who like spreads like the absolute real truth absolute true news like I'm considering even more might have maybe put on that fake news that it really as to like make it seem as Sabo had died but then in actuality Sabo would be like currently secretly imprisoned by like the world government so like I'm considering through like it is especially through like the fight between Luffy as well as like Rokujo, like as that fight would be releasing about to bring Rokujo posting about his strength and how he had defeated this like commander of like the revolutionary army and instantly like shocking Luffy at that realization that Bravo that when Luffy bring out his like action through gear 5 action through strength and quickly defeating overpowering and defeating Rokujo and then Luffy and Pro without much delay like basically leaving the land of Wano. It's like the scenario that I'm delivering by this entire time trying to be like stranded at this thing right there on his ship, like basically right up like the coast of like the land of I know trying to like still like thinking and trying to like figure out a way into like how to like he would be how as to like which would be like that exact path that which would like lead which would be like that exact entrance into like the land of I know how exactly can to be able to like enter into like the land of I know would be what chance would be thinking and I'm considering maybe like around that time I'm considering maybe when like Blackbeard will be showing up. It's definitely not going to the impression. So especially as Loki and Kuro would be like leaving like the land of Mano. Like the most likely would be when like the on through like the opposite direction of the land of Mano would be when about the very most likely the whole war between like Shanks and ship war between like pirate ship war between like Shanks and Black Jade will be taking place. It's like the scenario that I'm going to bring in yes, so like definitely not the same question right now. For like Jinbei as well as the Robin alone not joining in on like the banquet party with like everyone. Like I'm going to put it in the Robin case system. They has to do with like a Robin want like the only thing unable to like contain of curiosity contain connecting to like the Chronicles present in like the Chronicles in like the land of Mano and all that's like for so that's like the reason for Robin is definitely not going to remember. As for like Jinbei, like definitely my thousand to remember is definitely that like in Jinbei's case like definitely Jinbei would definitely might currently would like instead of like participating in like, the banquet party like Jinbei would be currently prioritizing like he would just probably currently would want to like basically get lost in thoughts of like basically all the information that he has been fed by especially the Fisher Tiger about like the sun about like the how like the sun pirates formation and everything being precisely through like Joy Boy like the sun god and everything. So like Fisher Tiger might have been totally passionate about like the history of like the legend of like the sun god. So like Fisher Tiger might have like when they might have been like extremely young like Fisher Tiger might have passionately talked to like Jinbei and Arlong and all of them about like and passionately about like his like absolute inspiration being like the sun god and like the history and like the legend about the sun god, which all would be precisely the history of like the some of like the history of like Joy Boy from like the origin that is definitely my personal favorite. So like currently with like Joy Boy making his return, Joy Boy and like the sun god like basically together making their being like same person and make together making their return through like Lucy and basically, Jinbei would be like so extremely overjoyed and happy that basically Jinbei would totally want to like get lost in all that thoughts and remember Fisher Tiger and everything like that had basically and to the extent Fisher Tiger might have like back then like the distant past might have passionately talked about the sun god like definitely even though maybe like definitely Jinbei might have been definitely one of those is a tiger who remembers that might have been genuinely inspired by the stories and tales of like the sun god. Definitely my those remembers and that sun god and Joy were right in front of Jinbei. And Jinbei would be totally feeling like honorable to be part of like the pirate crew of that like sun god to be like a crew member of like to have like that sun god as like his captain of his like as a like captain is definitely not the connection. So like Jimbe would be so really awkward and happy that Jimbe would be totally wanting that peaceful time alone currently to basically get lost in all that thoughts and memory. Definitely my personal revelation. Jinbei, even though Jinbei is all by himself, like Jinbei would be totally having a blast and would be totally enjoying himself and would be totally overjoyed. And it's definitely my personal revelation. Definitely my personal revelation right now with like the reason for like it being like solely a few of like the retainers as well as like Shinobu being like the only people to like even being able to like notice like the presence of it would like solely have to do with like them precisely constantly being on like the outer skirts of like the flower capital of like refugees getting closer to the flower capital and that being the sole reason for like them alone like noticing refugees definitely not of the generation like while Luffy, Zoro, and like the others would be like on the inner portions of like the flower capital, and hence why the sole reason for them not being able to like notice definitely not on the end. So I'm personally not different right now, but they're only different like definitely the fight should be over real quick because like the strength difference, like the gap in strength will be extremely huge that between like between like a single Rocky and all these like a retainers of like Gordon and Shinobu, definitely not the thing like this. So it's definitely the reason and especially because even all of them will be also on top of that, like even if they were like exhausted, like there will still be like there will still remain that extreme huge gap in their strength like, when compared to like the strength of like our like definitely similar to the dimension and especially because of the reason I'm considering that before they could eat, they would even be able to like actually put up a fight like the fight to be over with like Rocky instantly using a like they would throw power taking them all out. But I'm considering the only two persistent ones those referring to be completely most likely like Denjiro as well as Shinobu. Definitely not open to inversion. So and I'm considering one of them to like correct right now in this fight against like Rocky. I'm considering only putting before Luffy and others will be like realizing Rocky just presence like until the brain one of them to like definitely die and that would be potentially either Shinobu or like Denjiro. But right now I'm considering only putting would be taken the life of by potentially Rocky you solely due to like the person their alone persistence which definitely matters in the game because like both Denjiro as well as like Shinobu might be like the least exhausted from like uh among like the retainers that have regularly right now sort of like job or which definitely doesn't train. So like that being the sole reason for them being able to be a bit more persistent in the fight against like Rokuju, and that totally eventually resulting in like Rokuju most likely taking the life of either Denjiro or Shinobu. Either Denjiro or Shinobu right now lying is like the scenario that I'm remembering. And I'm considering like after taking like either Denjiro or Shinobu's life, like I'm considering like Kyoraku most likely not Kyoraku but like Rokuju most likely moving on to taking the life of like another one of them. And it will be precisely at that very last second, as Rocky would be about to like take the life of another one of them. It will be at that very last second that I'm going to playing definitely for like an enraged Luffy most likely showing up. It's like the scenario that I'm considering. And from that point will be when like the whole Luffy versus like a Rocky fight would be like starting from that point on. Definitely my secondary version. And at that point, I was preparing to not just feel like Luffy alone that will be showing up, but like along with Luffy, like then after things what have to as well with the company. Definitely, I was in the realm version. But like I was preparing, especially Luffy straight away, like being able to like instantly send like that Luffy and like all of them being like, of course, being extremely enraged that most likely them witnessing like that Ranger or like Shinobu on like the line of the ground. And then Ambassador straight away like maybe like Zoro or someone like deciding to like basically attack Rocky, but like Ambassador immediately straight away stopping them and telling them that because like immediately straight away able to like precisely kind of like measure up and send that say absolute strength of Rocky is definitely my preference. And especially with, like especially with like an admiral definitely even like just seeing like the admiral uniform precisely after like this is like the last time Luffy saw like an admiral uniform was precisely when it was on Akainu when Akainu had taken Ace's life. Precisely I'm considering kind of like a bit of like the trauma kicking in for Luffy and like that whole protection of this like people who are like absolutely precious to Luffy that especially if like the Sword Fire through like especially after losing Ace of like to another like that whole thing would be like kicking in like Luffy's mind is like definitely one of the renders because I'm considering maybe for Zoro trying to like deciding to like attack maybe trying to like getting angry and basically maybe trying to like attack trying to like charge into like attack Rocky, but like even right then like Luffy possibly like shouting at like Zoro and basically telling all of them like stand back and basically that I will take care of it and basically I'm also bring like the crew would be like totally concerned for like their captain Luffy precisely because of like Luffy having fought up just recently against like Kaido Luffy possibly being extremely exhausted from that fight but still Luffy would be like precisely with like a serious face and was like Luffy telling his crew to like basically stand back that I will take care of it when San Ambrose bring like a serious fight between like uh Luffy with like a serious face like basically fighting off against like Rocky like the and that would be like how like the whole Rocky versus Luffy fight would be starting off. It's like my person remember and as that fight will be progressing eventually Ambrose bring so like once like the people of the cloud have is finding like be able to like make it to that location like at that point like them totally like laying witness to like Luffy like as much strength that they and realize them shockingly realizing that Luffy is not just some um random it's not just moment of scale on that's like that ultimate hero that Luffy as well is like exceptionally strong like them actually witnessing like Luffy like being a hero like even though Luffy that would be like the last thing Luffy would want still like Luffy being forced to like be into through his fight against like your through Luffy's fight against like Rocky while with like the people of like the cloud capital being at a distance in like as being like the audience like I'm bring Luffy being forced to like be the hero that basically saves the cloud capital this time from like your food. That's definitely this time from like Rocky was definitely my go-to. So like once like and I'm preferring once like Luffy would be dictating Rocky with the very first thing that I'm preferring for Luffy to like most likely here would be like the entirety of like the flower capital shouting hero towards like Luffy. It's like definitely one of the impression. So like definitely my secondary impression right now. So like basically it might have been precisely after like the Luffy's performance in like the whole warring for that basically both differing in the news, like while like the detailed reports about like the everything that happened in like the war and report that happened in like the more than it's like paper through his papers might have detailed out like about like Luffy alone, like how Luffy was like the first person that had defeated like the warlord crocodile and all that. And basically, like with the war in Marineford, like were like working together, like Crocodile, Luffy, and all of them were like working together. And about like Luffy's like exceptional influence and skill that basically Luffy has like created a history out of like by repeatedly like proven that he has such an exceptional influence and power. So precisely, even in the war in Marineford, even like Mihawk even recognizing that exceptional influence and powers of Luffy and everything. Like I'm personally remembering like Rocky might have first heard of like Luffy and his like exceptional influence and power through this like possibly through this professor report of like the war in Marineford is definitely my technically average. Luffy is this person who's like so extremely influential that he turns even enemies into um, even force into allies. Like basically along such lines, maybe like something might have Morgan might have written something added or like written something along in that record. But like I'm wondering maybe like um so people might have first heard of Luffy and like first heard of Luffy and his like influence way back then. It's definitely not a good emotion. And it might have been at that point like Rocky might have not even entered like yeah, might have not even been part of like maybe might have been just like a basic navy soldier rather than another. Certainly not looking very much. It might have been considering it might be during that whole uh, sort of Roxa half time period that basically Rocky might have along with Vitora, Rocky, along with Vitora, like Rocky herself might have been selected to be like admiral for that whole draft selection. It's definitely not in the regulation. So like even in, so like Luffy kept creating like this like whole influence in like history, and especially right now even with like the land of Wano, like basically Luffy like basically aligning with like or in the tweet even after like even during like the whole Pankasa period with like Luffy even even getting like Luffy aligning with like another like first generation like member like Law and basically even maintaining that whole uh, alliance to like to the point of like even defeating Cairo and Big Mom and basically all that like basically collectively all those and basically even in like the war in like Wano like once again those influence like being revealed with like basically what's like makes us well working popularity and everything like maybe like somehow maybe like just repeated like proving of duty that he has that ultimate influencing power to that might have been like that information like potentially potentially Rocky might have learned upon that information, and Rocky my particular impression is like Rocky would definitely be like an extremely immature character. That's definitely my personal thing. Like, we would be like also young, but his stage would have absolutely nothing to do with like his being like extremely immature. It's also definitely my personal thing. His character would be like an extremely immature character, and Rocky would be it would be like extremely ever since hearing of the Luffy and his influence, Rocky would be genuinely extremely jealous of Luffy and his like extreme influence and look at extreme popularity as well. Definitely my person favorite and specifically influence. Influence would be something that basically Rock would be like one of like Rock Heroes like ultimate goal to be like an extremely influential person would be like something that to be such a person would be to be like Luffy would be something that Rock you might genuinely deserve. But like from Rocky's in Rocky's case, it might not be like an inspiration. Luffy might not be like an inspiration for Rocky, but like since like Rocky was like extremely mature, like Rocky would be having that extreme jealousy towards like the character Luffy and his like exceptional influence and power that basically Rocky is definitely my personal preference. Hence why like the fact that like Rocky and so like after hearing about Luffy like Rocky his entire life leading up to this point might have desperately tried all sorts of ways possible for him, which he might have tried in all sorts of manner to be like an influential figure like Luffy. But he might have each and every single time like he would be attempting for, at that like he would be might have failed like each and every single time. And so like you might be extremely frustrated and extremely jealous of like that whole superior that ultimate influencing power of Luffy. Certainly my personal preference. So like you will be definitely having that extreme jealousy towards like Luffy, not just because of the influencing factor alone, but like especially also due to like you see the character of Luffy getting so much of importance that even elders are basically kind of afraid and concerned about like Luffy and all that. So all these things like basically Luffy getting a lot Luffy's influencing power as well as Luffy getting a lot of importance in front of such big shots like basically all this might have extremely irritated and like frustrated and triggered like a Rocky Gay deep down, extremely mature Rocky Gay deep down that is there of you currently would be choosing to like basically take Luffy like It's definitely, and that way to like throw to all of them, and like that will be a Rocio's attempt to like even throw, trying to like throw to himself that like it, that is somehow even better than NLP. It's definitely my personal impression. Also, like definitely my personal impression right now is that like eventually once like the whole Elite three versus Rocky fight will be taken place in like the man, and basically eventually Luffy will be only crushing and destroying and defeating, and definitely like Rocky will be losing to like Luffy. Like at that point, like even after that, and then considering Luffy and like the Strong Pirates to like leave after that from like the land of man. But even after that, I'm considering that to like that whole defeat, embarrassing defeat by from like Rocky's point of view, like it was extremely embarrassing for Rocky. And Rocky's, no matter how much he would be trying, like he will be definitely no won't be at all be able to like get that out of his head. It's also definitely my personal dimension that like I'm also different from that defeat on like I'm different Rocky making it just like ultimate new ultimate life goal to like especially track down Luffy, chase after and track down specifically Luffy, and basically to have a rematch and have a rebattle against Luffy, in which like he would have really want to like defeat Luffy and then prove to like the rest of the world that he's better than Luffy, and to himself that he's like better than Luffy, to like that would be such a desperate attempt out of that Rocky is what I'm totally predicting. Especially after Luffy would be defeating Rocky in like the land of Minor, Rocky would be making it like ultimate life's mission to like especially chase after and track down and eventually have a rebattle and defeat this. It's definitely my personal. So like the feeling of some impression right now was like the Raiso being like absolutely shocked that basically Rocky do like looking down on like Raiso and like the retainers of Gordon like basically it solely and totally would most likely has to do with like Raiso and like as well as like the retainers of Gordon like mostly having like absolutely no exposure of like the outside world is definitely my personal impression. Like they mostly live their entire life enclosed within like this like society like land of Mano. Even in the case of Raiso as well, mostly Raiso spent like majority of his life in like the land of Mano, and the remaining in like the in like Zonisha, like in Zo, like in the island of Zo, like basically still remaining like hiding in like the island of Zo, still remaining detached from like the having like no exposure for like the outside world. I know what sort of exceptionally strong fighters of existing in like the outside world, like the to Raiso and like to all these retainers of Poland, like their biggest fighters would be that they might have only witnessed in their throughout their entire life would be only just like Kaido, as well as like Oden Sama. Definitely my personal prayer. Hence, like they would be having like absolutely no idea at all as for like how formidably strong kind of like exceptional fighters, exceptionally strong fighters exist in like the outside world and everything. And hence why like they are absolutely shocked that basically someone not even caring at all. As for someone an outsider not even caring at all about like anything about like them like basically being retainers of Odin or anything. It's definitely my personal opinion. It's why like the shock in Raizo when like even Rocky looks down on Raizo. That basically Raizo would be totally seeing himself as the ultimate retainer of this like ultimate Odin Sama, who would be like well, not just Raizo but like the entirety of like the retainers of Odin would be seeing like the Odin as like this ultimate biggest strongest fighter in like the world, who only had failed and lost to like Kaido solely because Odin was cheated by Kaido and Orochi. Would be along the lines like retainers of Odin, including like Raito, would be naively believing even to the present day, when in actuality they would have absolutely no idea that they really like precisely emperors of like the sea exist like even before like even back then like basically emperors of like the sea like people exceptionally strong pirates and like called like emperor of the sea exist in like the outside world, and even admirals like exist in like the outside world who are like a whole lot extremely superiorly stronger than their beloved like their ultimate modern summer would be one thing that they have like absolutely no idea of. Like I'm also saying it was only like even in the case like Momonosuke and Kinemon and Kanjuro as well. Like basically, even them like only realizing the true strength of like outside people outside of like of fighters like outside of pirates and vice versa of villains and fighters outside of like the land of Wano. They only realize that only once they even made it to Pankaj. Even Caesar back then, like even Caesar was like exceptionally strong to them. And then like on making it to the pros, like presently the next exposure that basically for the first time that Cinnamon, people like Cinnamon, Momonosuke, and even Tanjiro even had was through Doflamingo, like proving to be like even also like an exceptionally strong fighter. And like so Even then, like even though Flamingo as well as Seeker being like absolutely nothing when compared to like the Emperor of the Sea and like the Admirals that existed, always existed in like the outside world, even while back when the all these retainers like Odin Sama was well and alive and in his prime, like basically all these things like all this ultimate, all this like reality, like the precise retainers of Odin precisely being totally and fully detached from solely due to like them totally almost living their entire lives in like the secluded like land of one of thinking like their Odin Sama is like the ultimate superior strongest fighter. It's like the potential reason for like in like the present day for Raizo to like have this like extreme shock at like the realization that basically an outsider could just simply so casually show up to like the land of one and so easily like even after Kaido's defeat like Kaido someone who they might have all these retainers might probably seen as like the other exceptionally strong fighter of the time or like basically for them for these retainers of Odin who might have this entire time might have innocently and naively believed that there are no the the you might have not been able to like comprehend the possibility of like an outsider who just casually show up to like the land of China and like so like Roku and basically so easily defeat like all of them with like such absolute ease, like might have been such extremely shocked and hard to grasp concept for like and hard reality for like for Raizo and like the other retainers of Orange. It's definitely my personal impression. Hence why they are extreme shocked at like basically at basically Rocky so easily defeating and destroying all of them. It's definitely my personal impression. Like my passenger impression that while like the retailers of Kodan would be like basically taking that absolute pride in like the ultimate Kodan Sama once being their whole lead and basically them even to the present day being able to like live on as like the retainers of like that Kodan Sama that existed once and currently now being able to like the retainers of like his son like Momonosuke and all that while they would be taking all the things like the screen pride in like being all this like basically even then like the actual reality that they like neither like Raito nor like the other retainers of Odin might not at all be able to like realize would be that like when it comes to like the rest of the world like the rest of the world like there are so exceptionally strong like that the rest of the world doesn't even care at all about like that like I was very impressed that like this retainers would be like it would be extremely hard for these retainers to like even grasp that like for like the outside world like basically for the rest of the outside world their ultimate like Odensama like ultimate Odensama of these retainers who they take so much pride of being like followers of like basically this like exact Odens it's like absolutely nothing for like the rest of the world for like the rest of the world the only person like the rest of the world even knows of and have even heard of is just like the Lord Roger, who was like the captain of like the crew in which like the great ultimate modern drama was even part of like the rest of the world doesn't even find like doesn't even know of like their ultimate modern drama at all and basically that like the next is like the rest of the world knew of him, like he would still be so it's extremely order their ultimate order somehow would be extremely insignificant to the rest of the world where like especially because of like their ultimate order somehow not even even during his fight like definitely might have not even had like the levels of strength of that of like an admiral of like the admiral that even existed in like the outside world back then or like the emperor that even existed back then. Which definitely might have been very embarrassing like their ultimate Odin Sama on top of like the rest of the world even not even knowing about him like even if the rest of the world even would have known about Odin like still they would like totally finding like an absolutely insignificant and not even an exceptionally strong fighter at all. It's definitely my percentage version. This will be extremely hard to digest and hard to grasp for like especially Raiso and like the remaining of like the retainers of Odin School right now as like basically the war in that land of Wano is over and as Gyro and Orochi have been like defeated now would be like exposed to like that extreme hard reality and hard truth that basically as they will be exposed as eventually like the land borders of the land of Wano will be open like at that point would they will be like faced with that hard reality that basically their ultimate Hidden Sama was like it's like absolutely nothing when compared to like the strong fighters of that actually presenting like the outside world. It's definitely my personal opinion. They would eventually have to like face that truth and they would eventually have to like they would be left with like no other option but to like face and accept that truth. is definitely and live in that reality of that role, which definitely my vegetarian direction. So like definitely my vegetarian direction right now as for like the yarns of like that shaking like this, which he will be like it will be presenting because of like him totally seeing like a very real possibility of right now like he's of being so close like basically him real to having to like face of the sun basically. So there would be that extreme guilt, like obviously there would be that extreme guilt, like in within like Yasser for the so casually abandoning Usopp and his like wife and basically by now Yasser might have definitely heard found out about like Usopp like his wife dying and that way Usopp being like to live his life being like an orphan and everything. So like definitely Yasser by now will be well aware of that and Yasser will be extremely and Yasser will be extremely feeling deep down guilty of like having to like face his son of right now in like Wano, possibly in like Wano and basically that's like how this would be reacting towards him like would Usopp would be like angry towards like Yasser like how exactly would be Usopp would be like would be like questioning Yasser like Usopp would be like basically was as to like would also could be like calling us out on all of his like mistakes that he has done his like all the wrong things he has done in his life like just like actually abandoned Usopp just like that and basically like even after like Usopp's like mother had died definitely Usopp definitely haven't like shown up to basically even to up to as well especially when the very much as well Usopp like only questioning Usopp and basically accusing Usopp all these like mistakes that Usopp had genuinely done like basically yeah, so might totally right now would be having that fear and insecurity with him of like being faced with like such a situation. But like I'm totally only coming in this very same yeah, so like eventually once like the preparing right now, we're preparing definitely for stand and like the have parents like I'm preparing even though they are right now planning on moving closer towards like the land of planet on it to enter like the land of the planet. Definitely that will be what Shanks will be planning right now. But I'm preparing them still some moments they would be like making it so close towards like the land of Mano. At that point, like them being faced with like the situation with like the borders of like, the land of Mano being opened and the waterfall being like the only way, but next time, right, the navigator of Texas is definitely not being able to like figure out that and that whole path through like the waterfall for to like be able for them to be able to like make it to like the land of Mano. Hence, like them currently not being able to at all like make it to and meet like Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirate and the so it's definitely the scenario that I'm looking about. So like I'm looking like stands with like Red Hat Pirates only being able to like eventually in like only to be like the distributor and both different they would be like after like losing like Luffy losing that chance of basically being able to like meet like Luffy and crew and basically scale that Luffy's come through like basically and take back like this number so like they would be getting another chance anytime soon especially like so like I'm considering after this point like I'm considering it will be only the very distances of that I'm considering Shanks as well as like his and her pirates would be finally be able to like even meet the straw hat pirates Luffy and Usopp definitely not talking about it and at that point I'm considering like for Yasop to like still have this very same guilt and this shaky like that is like currently having is definitely my personal emotion. But like I'm preferring once like Shanks would be like politely asking Luffy to like basically give back his like German throat to Shanks and along with his like straw hat. And I'm preferring during that interaction would be when like from that point I'm preferring Luffy to like not wear the straw hat anymore. Luffy the scene that I'm preferring is like Luffy Shanks asking Luffy the straw hat first. Luffy basically like Shanks kneeling before Luffy, and Shanks asking Luffy for like his straw hat. Luffy giving the straw hat to Shanks, and then like Shanks asking Luffy his like Jam fruit. And basically, like at that point, like Luffy, like totally refusing because like Luffy was the only thing like the Gumbo fruit has like the only thing that has allowed Luffy to be able to like uh, keep his like crew members like protected, his Nakamas protected, and Chance straight away like offering Luffy all sorts of like powerful diversity, but definitely no, Luffy won't be agreeing because like Luffy would only be having that ultimate faith and trust in his like Gumlo crew alone. Even though it might, even though it had failed Luffy back in like the Warren report, still like after since like the Warren report still to that present day, since like the Gumlo crew. Alone has kept Luffy as well as like the people who are precious green protected from that point on. Luffy would be having that ultimate faith and trust in his like Gundam Fruit that Luffy certainly won't be giving up his Gundam Fruit to like Shanks, no matter even if it's like the stepped up Shanks giving up his arm. And in that interaction, like I'm just Luffy even figuring out that basically Shanks even giving up his arm was totally for this very day for like Shanks to like ask back like the Gummo so to create that depth in Luffy like all of this like at that point Luffy figuring out his definitely of the then so at that point for Luffy even returning back to the Gummo would be like for Luffy it would be like basically giving up his like Nakama, basically that giving up his like ability to be able to like protect his Nakama. That will be like giving up like causing like the death of his like Nakama, letting his like Nakamas die. That would be another line definitely refuse the thing. So like if he totally refusing to like give back the freedom of force at all and then was separating then for like a Shanks versus like the Shanks and the Red Hero Pirate fight through fight versus like Luffy and the Straw Hat through pirates and fight. And right then I was separating like even though like Yasuo will have this extreme guilt as like a father towards like Usopp and all that, like I'm whispering right then like Shanks totally ordering Yasuo like Shanks will be declaring that like a war against like the Straw Hat Pirates and Shanks telling his crew that at that point of different Shanks plans to be like possibly force Luffy into like basically giving up his like Gum awakened Gum to like Shanks by precisely defeating Luffy and like the Straw Hat Pirates and there then that way to precisely threaten Luffy with like taking the life of like Luffy's crew members so that like that way, since like Shanks, it will be partly obvious for Shanks that how much like Luffy finds his like Nakama's crew members that much purchase like so Shanks might be figuring out that the villainous strategy to like essentially threaten defeat like Luffy and like for her parents and somehow and basically to like threaten Luffy with like basically taking the life of his crew members so that like that way to like force Luffy into like basically giving up like the gunboat crew to so definitely might be like definitely the eventual that tragedy that friends will be totally thinking. So like I'm also putting like Shanks basically declaring a war on like the Straw Hat Pirates and Shanks basically telling the Red Hat Pirates to like let's like bring them down like basically along this lines. And at that point I'm also putting precisely that very same Yasop who exactly like a person as like Yasop having like leg shaking with that extreme guilt as like a father towards like so father and as like a to top and his like mother and all that. Like basically, it's very same. Yeah, so that's what I'm expecting. Even at that point, in like he would be like shaking and trembling in front of like so. But like I'm considering precisely the very moment it's like Captain Shanks would be like saying that like we are going to like fight like in the Straw Hat Pirates and we are going to they are going to at that point I'm considering like Yaakov without even instantly like Yaakov like body language and his manner sometimes everything like instantly changing and like Yaakov instantly changing bring out like a villainistic aura and basically not even showing even the remote of bit of hesitation of like basically him possibly fighting and taking the life of even his own son so basically the solely due to like Yakov simply so casually and so extremely in like a villanistic manner, like totally prioritizing like the word or like the order of his captains even more than the life of his own son. Just like the scenario that I'm considering that way, the Yakov showing that true hidden villanistic fire nature within Yakov that basically so casually like forgotten and like casually abandoned his like wife and his son. So like Yasov once again like bringing back that villanistic pirate within Yasov who would at that point wouldn't even be hesitant at all at like even attempting to like take use of his own son's life. This is like the kind of Yasov that I'm considering at that point in like the distant future when like the Red Hat Pirates would be fighting a war against like the Straw Hat Pirates and in that war like I'm personally only fighting the fight would be definitely between like two of and the fight would be like the main fight would be like and Luffy versus Shanks as well as like Usopp would be fighting against Yasop. And in that fight, I'm delivering though Usopp would be badly struggling. Eventually, I'm delivering like Usopp to like totally overpower and defeat like Yasop. It's like the scenario that I'm delivering. Maybe Usopp even possibly like seriously badly like injuring Yasop and basically maybe I'm considering either like accidentally is of like due to the extreme like maybe like Yasuo would be pushing to of like Yasuo would be like so strictly realistically would be trying to take use of life that basically I'm considering use of take force to the corner but like Yasuo would be having no other choice but to like bring out all his husky and like use it like Yasuo would be awakened some sort of an ultimate husky power within him and basically so that ultimate attack like Yasuo like basically possibly being forced to like take Yap of the life. That's like one possibility that I'm considering. Or like second possibility is like also totally overpowering and defeating and trusting Yap of eventually finally. And then at that point, like Usopp like saying some sort of a dialogue to Yasov and so they posing how much of a, like a how much of a like um, around like how much like Yasov did a poor job as like a father and as like a husband and all that basically and like Yasov that's basically being faced with like forced to be faced with that absolute reality of that truth of all that extreme wrong that Yasov did that basically Yasov at that point totally drowning in guilt as like who's open with totally walking away like I'm Yasov will be totally extremely drowning in guilt that at that point I'm also bring one the Frohad fire senses of like leaves that location I'm also bring also possibly taking its own life out of that extreme growth levels of guilt. It's like the eventual possible scenarios as well that I'm also totally covering for Yaso that's like how possibly might be either of these two possibilities through which like I'm also bring Yaso to like eventually die. I'm also leaning more towards the possibility that Yaso would like eventually be dying at some point in like the future. It's definitely my personal question. So like definitely my secondary impression right for like the cat who's that really recently has like phones like I'm considered on the brain. His roles would be definitely be able to like be able to be traced back to like the Kurosane clan. It's definitely my secondary impression. Definitely my secondary impression is that like a lot of like the Kurosane clan might have been forced to like escape from like the land of Wano in like the distant past, like due to like most likely due to like either Odin's father back when Odin's father was extremely young and was like the chosen of like the land of Minor. Back then like Odin's father like been either Odin's it might be either Odin's father or like it might be during the time of like Odin's like grandpa. Either one of them like the investigate they might have sent us like order order to like basically eliminate like the entirety of like the Kurosumi clan as well as their offsprings and everything just for like the winner act that like only just a minority of like the Kurosumi clan might have done either in like the present or even in like the distant past or even from history or something. So that definitely my reference to like Oden's father is definitely Sukiyaki, like Kosuke Sukiyaki is like an extreme villain who's like far more even more a greater villain than way more a greater villain than Orochi even. And actually Orochi was only retaliating to the extreme villainism of Kosuke Sukiyaki, Oden's father as well as possibly Oden's grandpa as well might have like shown this extreme villainism by like constantly like hunting down and chasing after like the poor and innocent Kurosumi clan as well as their offspring and eliminating all of them. So like this whole chaos might have caused like the Kurosumi clan to like be forced to like escape from like the land of Wano, and that might have been like that escape might have been happening all throughout like the past, and that might have been resulted in like basically this these precise people people from like the Kurosumi tribe like basically would be like some of them like strong ones would be like totally most likely would be having like horns and horns would be seen like a symbol of strength. So definitely my personal reality. So because like or that reason that like Orochi even while being part of like the Kurosumi clan not having any horns would be precisely because of like uh, among the tribes members of the Kurosumi clan, the strong, the ones that are blessed with like physical strength would be like the ones with like horns. Like the bigger the horns, like that much like stronger the physical strength would be. It's definitely my personal fighting strength will be. It's definitely my and that would be like that's not only a connection to like the force of arm. It's definitely my personal redemption. Probably like Kaido's like horns might have been like the in like the recent present like basically the person from that one that inside Kurosumi clan Kurosumi clan member with like the biggest and most massive horns might have probably belonged to Kaido, and that might be the reason for like most likely that old woman from like the Kurosumi clan who wear like candles for horns like since like horns for like the Kurosumi clan will be viewed as like a symbol of like absolute pride of that absolute strength and might of like the Kurosumi clan. So there's a professor reason for like that old woman like even wearing candles for horns is also definitely my opinion. So like Kaido might have been even from a young age like he might have only seen Kaido as like ultimate price of the sense to like basically eventually get revenge on like the Kosuke clan for like the extreme injustice, realistic injustice that the Kosuke clan had done to like the Kurosumi clan. In extremely unprovoked villains that the like Odin's father as well as possibly Odin's grandfather as well back when they were shogun might have probably done to like the Kurosumi clan by eliminating like the Kurosumi clan the majority of the Doras in the clan, forcing that and constantly hunting them down and basically that way forcing them to like escape and flee into like the outside world. Might have something that might have generally happened in like the different passes definitely member in the and that might have eventually resulted in like these exact people with like horns being present even in like the outside world. One of them being precisely even while back when Shanks had attacked the world government ship and basically had stolen like the road. Like even then like Hostos was not at all in like the land of Mano. Even back then for Hostos to be serving under like the world government as like a CP9 member and that Hosto even having horns like precisely would be like that rope of like Hosto can be precisely traced back to like the Cosmic Atlantis like Luna versus the Ram races. So like Hosto's parents might have totally escape like when also might have been young like only a child like maybe like back then like solely due to like the specific extreme villain from of like either Odin's father back when Odin's father was extremely young and was like gotten to the position of a shogun or like due to like the villainism of like the shogun role of like Odin's like grandpa like villainously targeting like the innocent Kurosumi clan might have caused like forced like parents to like basically see forced to like flee from like the land of Wano. This might have eventually resulted in like Kusu making it out of like the land of Wano into like the outside world. And that way eventually like Kusu specifically because Kusu having like the horns, even though Kusu's horns are not at all as huge as like Kaido or even Jack's horns, like still like Kusu because of Kusu still having like horns like basically and things like horns are basically would be definitely be like a symbol of strength and might when we have like a connection to like that as the strength of like the Koros in the clan, like definitely it will be precisely because of this reason as well. Specifically that also was able to like make it all the way to like the position of being like a CP9 member. This is definitely my personal theory and prediction. Also like my personal theory and prediction is that like even while Jack also was like an CP9 member, like still like the precise main reason for like Kaido even taking Cusco in as like one of like the Toby Robo and making him one of the Toby Robo would be precisely due to like that extreme that precise horns that Kaido might have only straight away seen the horns of like Cusco and might have identified Cusco as like one of his own, like as one of like his tribe, like his ultimate tribe, and basically hence like that trust might have been blindly formed out of like Kaido towards Cusco that Kaido might have only seen Cusco as family even though he was like an ex-CP9 member and hence Kaido might have totally taken Usu in like and accepted Usu into like the Kaido's like peace pirate army gave him like the one of like the top position of like the Soviet Robo member. So also definitely what might have happened in like the distant past is definitely my personal remembrance. Also like definitely my personal impression right now is that like Shanks might not likely have like memory issues, especially in my personal remembrance because like especially since like once like Luffy has eaten like the actually eaten like the Gundam Stone like especially Shanks even finding out that Luffy had gained the power of like the Gamlon group and his body is starting to stretch. Like basically Shanks had only precisely figured out through precisely Shanks who takes the child Luffy upside down and basically taking him to like make Luffy get out like the Gamlon group and that being like the point where like Luffy's like body stretches and basically Shanks suddenly finding out that actually Luffy's like Gundam fruit has like taken over like Luffy's body. But right now, since like Shanks it's like recollecting its memories of Luffy right now, since like Shanks is only seeing like the memories of like Shanks basically pulling Luffy's arm and basically Luffy like with his arms stretching out, basically, and that being like how exactly Shanks like figuring out that like the Jumbo Fruit has like this. Basically, Shanks even realizing that at that point that basically Luffy had even eaten like the Jumbo Fruit, like basically this would be like due to like Shanks with like memory Shanks having like serious memory issues like basically which will be totally unrevealed which I'm interpreting like uh this would be like the brain would be having possibly in like the future distant future possibly having like a lot of relevance which Shanks wouldn't be able to like recollect memories in like the very exact same format and it would be like there will be like manipulations happening, automatic manipulation, like auto manipulations like happening in like Shanks' memory as time passes. Which definitely which will be the precise reason for like Shanks remembering like Luffy, Shanks discovering Luffy eating like the Gundam food in like a different manner in like the through his memories in like the present is definitely my person to remember. So like definitely my person to remember right now for like Shanks and Rose along with his like a red hair parrot even going up the like the land of Mano. would be precisely like the sole intent of stance of like genuinely wanting to like basically get back to like jump on from music. It's definitely my boundary emergence, but like right now I've got like stance even changing its mind. But the it would precisely have not at all have to do with like Barco at all, like Barcelona at all. Like I'm looking for like also one thing that in my book also other theories that definitely among Shanks crew members, like even though they will be like successfully from like considering it will be only other than Ben Beckman. Ben Beckman would be like the only member of Shanks crew that would be totally be able to like read Shanks' mind. Like all the other crew members of Shanks, like they even though they will be exceptionally strong and would be able to like fight perfectly still they would be like totally they would all be like easily be able to like be manipulate easily would be like remembers that chance could easily be able to like manipulate and trick certainly my person to them and when that one alone would be like well and fully aware of this and then that one would be like that only crew member of chance that chance would be able to like lie or like trick at all or manipulate at all. It's definitely my person to them. So, like, and when between even joining Shanks would be like solely due to like him genuinely understanding Shanks' character and still him genuinely like liking Shanks' character. Definitely my position emotion. Unlike all of the others who might have totally all the other crew members of Shanks who might have totally fallen for like the manipulation of Shanks into like basically getting that. That might be how Shanks might have gotten all of them to like join Shanks' role or the remaining crew members of Shanks to like get to join Shanks' role. Definitely my position emotion. And I'm also trying to possibilities as for Shanks right now showing up, even bothering to show up all the way so close to like the land of Anna, now deciding to like basically not meet Luffy. And to be precisely due to like I'm going to bring two positives for that reason. I'm going to bring one reason would be precisely once like Shanks had showed up towards like the land of Mana, close towards the land of Mana. The last thing Shanks might have expected might have been to like see like an admiral like entering like the land of Mana. Basically, so like I'm bring like Shanks might be totally currently Shanks might be like even after like the whole fight has even began with like Rocky View, Admiral Rocky View and like the land of Mino. Like I'm considering Sancho right now would be totally expecting like Luffy to be right now having like a fight against that Admiral. And Shanks would be since like Shanks right now knows of like Luffy having like awakened himself about like Shanks currently might be like totally feeling at absolutely at ease. Like considering like even the remote of kit of worries Shanks might have had towards Luffy until this point of Luffy possibly dying might have been solely due to like until like the point Loki would awaken Dumbledore. But now that Loki has awakened Dumbledore, like Shanks would did only, even though Shanks would be well and fully aware that Loki has only just now defeated Kyra and Shanks would be exhausted and injured. Still, Shanks would be like especially because like of Shanks would be still like totally well and fully aware of like the exceptional powers. Not sure, even though not to the full extent, like still Shanks would be well and fully aware that really, since Timo wants like become Dumbledore, like definitely become Dumbledore would be like seriously strong. But in the case of Shanks, like Bender, Shanks won't be having that confidence, especially because of that lacking of like the middle initial of D in like Shanks' name. Like unlike Blackbeard, like since Shanks doesn't have that D in his name, like definitely Shanks would be have that like it would be more susceptible to like slavery and being ruled over by by villains like and hence why like I'm considering Shanks might have totally fallen for like the trap of like immortality of when in the on the other case in the case of like Blackbeard like precisely because of like Joy Boys like from like the Void Century like his blood even running through that Blackbeard like the initial in like Blackbeard name like about different certainly because of that like Blackbeard would be like totally different and Blackbeard exactly like Luffy would be totally having that rebellious nature within him to precisely when challenge the odds and basically face all sorts of risks and basically to like even steal the Gundam fruit and then make it his own and then for him to like challenge and defeat Emu and even steal Emu's like immortal powers as well. Would be along the line Blackbeard would be thinking, but like Shanks on the other hand would be having that slave mindset is definitely my personal favorite. I just want to like get the immortality from immortality. It's definitely my get that. So like I'm also like so that's the reason for like Shanks deciding not to like go up to like the land of Mano exactly because like since Charlie Shanks will be not like expecting Luffy to be a fighter fighting off against like Rocky against the Admiral like Rocky. But for Shanks only being extremely confident that like Luffy would be like only be able to like defeat that Admiral, but still. since it's like a situation where like a fight just would be happening like a right time for Shanks to like shortly show up to Luffy and straight away ask Luffy about like returning like the Gundam probe like that would be like from Shanks' point of view like Shanks would be extremely confident that basically one right now like the biggest backfire that would be like happening eventually happening for Shanks would be precisely that like since Shanks would be like even to the person after giving up chance for Luffy and like us to like see how Luffy even reacted to that. Like basically, Shanks might be like probably well and fully aware that Luffy has that absolute extreme depth towards like Shanks that basically Shanks will be currently even to the percentage that will be having that extreme off confidence that basically once Shanks eventually asks Luffy once eventually Luffy awakens the Gummo Fruit and once like Shanks asks Luffy for like the Gummo Fruit like without any hesitation like Luffy would be like straight away giving like the Gummo Fruit to Shanks totally due to that extent that Frank had created of like giving up in Luffy constantly. It's definitely my book very much. And that extreme overconfidence of chance with what and was only putting to eventually backfire. And even right now it's that to get that extreme overconfidence, even while that extreme overconfidence is being the thing chance like and also especially because of that reason while because like chance not even trying to take advantage of like the situation with like him getting so close being so close to like Luffy and still, and I'm also predicting like science will be have just according to responsibility and consider different science will be have absolutely no idea at all as for like secretly having like someone Blackbeard as well to like Marijo and given like say very same mission that Emo might have given to chance to like get back the amount and give it to Emo in exchange for immortality like Emo having given that very same mission secretly to like Blackbeard as well. This will be one thing that chance to be as well totally unaware. Definitely my positive hence why Chance will be currently feeling totally comfortable with like basically even though Chance is so close to like Luffy, like basically like since like Chance will be naively assuming that since like absolutely nobody else knows of like he knows like knows of like Luffy's like ultimate power of Luffy's Gundam so like absolutely nobody else would be like coming after Luffy to like take desiring Luffy's Gundam. So precisely because of this reason, like and about liberating, like Chance would be totally having that extreme overconfidence thinking that like especially since like the only that person that could like totally ask for like even get or would even take like Luffy's jumbo throat other than Chance would be like only from even from Chance's point of view, Chance would be only saying that way as like the only other person using like this dark powers like still Chance would be having this overconfidence that thinking that basically Blackbeard would be having absolutely no idea at all as for like the specialty of like Luffy's like jump down grade. It's definitely my personal dream. So collectively because of all this overconfidence Chance would be totally think that basically of like basically comfortably taking his time and basically approaching Luffy when like this probability of like him asking Luffy and like him like Luffy straight away giving up like the Gundam probe to like Shanks is like it's maximum. Or like Shanks would be like well and fully aware that even if right now he asks Luffy like for like the Gundam probe like even after Luffy defeating like a rope use like Shanks goes up to like the land of Mano and basically asks Luffy for like the Gundam probe Luffy would be like straight away giving the Gundam probe. But like I was curious that like the extreme overconfidence of Shanks would be like would be more what would be making him think along the lines of like then oil Shanks basically wanting to like set the most straight and basically one but like Luffy is like totally in like a peaceful temporary peaceful situation for like to create the perfect ambience for Shanks to basically then for Shanks to like approach Luffy in such a scenario and for like for Shanks to create that ultimate moment as Shanks will be finally getting a switch of basically getting back the Gummy from Luffy. This will be like all this in that extreme power confidence and chance is definitely one possibility that I'm going to only I'm thank you very much. Just seeing that one possibility of like Shanks right now. So like casually, like basically even after getting so close to like Luffy, like deciding to like and not meet Luffy. It's the one possibility that I'm observing. The second possibility that I'm observing is to basically Shanks somehow figuring out finding somehow accidentally or somehow like finding out about like Blackbeard knowing of like Luffy's like Gumbo Throat being special and that basically it's not just Shanks but Blackbeard is also after like Luffy's Gumbo Throat. Like basically Shanks figuring that out somehow like maybe it was likely through accidentally in an accidental manner like the other possibility that I'm considering. So that way, like, still Shanks might be totally think that it would, might have only summoned Shanks alone to, like, Marija and given the staff to, like, Shanks alone. Like, Blackbeard even desiring to his Jumbo Throat would be precisely to, like, Blackbeard through some other channels, like, figuring out about, like, the specialty of, like, which is Jumbo Throat. would be along the lines like Chance would be thinking like okay, so like would be along the lines like Chance would be thinking the FlameEmperor into Amazon. So like definitely Chance plan would be like right now behind like Chance deciding to like not approach Luffy and ask for like the move like other possibilities would be precisely because of the Chance current target not being precisely being like when it was like from Chance's point of view, Chance would be totally thinking that basically if Shanks asked Luffy the number for chance, so it only nailed their thing that Luffy would straight away giving Shanks that out of the depth, like and Luffy would straight away giving Shanks back like the Gumbo coin. But like at that point, like before Shanks would be able to like get the Gumbo through to Emu and get the Shanks would before Shanks would even be able to like reach Emu's location in like Marijo and be able to that way get like the Gumbo to Emu. Like even before that, like Shanks would be have to Blackbeard would be confronting Shanks and before that, like Shanks would be uh, having to like face off against like Blackbeard. Even before that, Blackbeard would be getting in Shanks way. It would be definitely along the lines Shanks would be thinking it's like the other possibility that I'm looking. So totally in order to like avoid like Shanks would be totally currently viewing Blackbeard as that ultimate obstacle. So like in order to like avoid that ultimate obstacle of Blackbeard, like basically Shanks might be totally and Shanks currently as well will be like totally preferring to be totally thinking along the lines that basically him and like a red car pirate in like a one-on-one, one versus one fight against like the Blackbeard Pirates would be totally losing to like the Blackbeard Pirates. It's like Red Hair Pirate, even though he is himself is like an emperor of three, exactly like Blackbeard and his pirate. So like still like the Red Hair Pirates are not strong to like to fight and take down and defeat like the Blackbeard Pirates in like one versus one fight would be along the lines Shanks would be certainly generally speaking at the present as well. Especially in my personal impression. So like Shanks' strategy would be to like secretly, especially create a strategical ultimate ambush attack on like the Blackbeard pirate crew. So like to that way precisely bring down like the Blackbeard, bring down and destroy and take the possibly even take the life of Blackbeard so that like at that point the source to be absolutely clear for like Shanks to like basically to absolutely take his time and basically approach Luffy and like simply ask for like simply just ask for like his government road, get the government road and like take his time and slowly travel all the way up to like Marijoa and give the hand over the government road to Imo and get the immortality from Imo for Shanks. Would be along the line Shanks would be thinking it's like the other possibility that I'm also thing. Like solely due to like seeing Blackbeard as this ultimate obstacle that Shanks would have to like eliminate before Shanks being able to like even get the gun through. Before that being like the only way for Shanks to be able to like get the gun through from Luffy to Emo. Would be like the other possibility of like Shanks right now deciding to like this and that thought might have only strike Shanks maybe at this moment. It's like the possibility for like Shanks right now deciding to like not meet Luffy but like uh to like it's definitely like the possibility that I'm talking when actually Shanks might have been sold up to like location near the land of Wano to actually get ask for like the amount from Luffy but like right now on reaching here like Shanks might have had this like mind change to exactly target and bring down Blackbeard first. It's like the other possibilities that I'm personally totally running and my person theory and prediction. Okay, so like my person theory and prediction right now was like one of like the big three news happened in like the outside one team like Sabo like taking the life of King Cobra. Definitely my person theory and prediction is like that's definitely a fake news. Definitely Morgan like totally like Morgan's would be definitely a fake character, especially in a person transition. Even while like Morgan says that he uphold the truth and basically his like ultimate goal is to like basically spread truth, the absolute truth across the world. Definitely I'm preferring like Morgan's definitely have got a bribe or something from like I'm preferring maybe Stussy might have totally bribed Morgan or something. It's like my secondary impression with somehow definitely Morgan definitely would be like Morgan like the ultimate in charge was definitely my secondary impression of like spreading all the news and everything, the newspapers and everything. So like definitely Morgan's would be totally a fake character that would like totally even like put up fake news for for like money is definitely my secondary impression. So like I'm preferring that would be precisely how like the Sabo the news about Sabo taking the life of like King Cobra was like put up to like the newspaper by the Presley Morgan, especially in 2000 So in actuality, what might have happened is definitely like it might have been since like King Cobra is like Vivi's father, and since like Vivi as well as like Shirahoshi, they were all like bonding like during like the whole reverie and preparing like precisely that day precisely when like Charlos, the Celestial Dragon Charlos tried to like enslave like Shirahoshi, like under the ring. After that incident, like basically Shirahoshi might have been totally afraid that basically BB might have totally gave comfort to like Shirahoshi by telling Shirahoshi that basically that let's stay together. Might have been what might have BB might have told Shirahoshi is definitely might have been because Shirahoshi and her family as well as like BB and her family might have totally stayed together on that whole their room of like the where like that on their whole room where they were staying in like that whole Tarabari location. It's definitely my personal impression. So like maybe it might have been that night that once again like Charles might have probably showed up to like once again to like capture Shirahoshi. It's definitely my personal impression. So like at that point I'm preparing King Cobra definitely might have been Vivi as well as King Cobra might have been definitely present in that room. It's definitely my personal impression. So like this time it might have been precisely King Cobra that might have tried to like stop Charles and I'm preparing Charles just casually might have just shot and taken the life of King Cobra. It's definitely what might have been what exactly might have happened is definitely my passenger impression. And my passenger impression that I'm still thinking on to is definitely that like as for the case of Sabo, definitely seeing like one of like the Celestial Dragon who I think is like Charles father, like Ambassador Rankin, basically leaving like Puma might have totally like enraged like Sabo that Sabo might have only lost control and Sabo might have charged in like forgotten about stealth and basically charged in to like attack that precise Celestial Dragon who's like the father of Charlie to precisely save to Puma and Ambassador there's just like Sabo might have like most likely taken the life of that Celestial Dragon who was like the precise father of Charles is definitely my personal impression. And I'm considering that might have been a fight that might have taken place. Fujitora might have shown up, like Sabo versus Fujitora fight might have taken place. And right then, like I'm considering with like no, the remaining like revolutionary army, like people who had basically members who had showed up along with like Sabo, seeing like how Sabo was in danger, like they might have already like felt that there was like no more point in like holding on to strength with like Sabo like blowing up their tower, like basically they might have totally decided to like basically help Sabo out and basically they might have took care of like took care and might have fought up against like Sujora at that point. While Amber differing like Sabo might have totally and right then Amber differing by then Amber differing Sabo might have definitely taken the life of that person dragon who's like the father of Charos and right then Amber differing precisely video might have possibly shown up there and there might have been like a Rocky versus Sabo fight at that point, in which like Rocky you might have only offered and defeated Sabo, and then Sabo along with his like other revolutionary army members might have been totally got in prison. Definitely might have been so like I'm bring precisely like with like the and so like I'm preparing like the higher up in like the marriage or maybe like the elders not the elders but like the still like the other cells that like might have offered like a lot of money to like Morgans to like precisely hide the news of like Sabo taking the life of like one of the Celestial Dragon. So like the depth of that Celestial Dragon might have been totally hidden. And I'm preparing like even after like that the Don Quixote Celestial Dragon had basically saved initially saved Shirahoshi from the villainous Celestial Dragon Charlo. Like at that point, I'm also bringing like as like a retaliation, like I'm also bringing after a while, like I'm also bringing like as a retaliation later on that day, I'm also bringing like as a retaliation and especially Charlo might have taken revenge on like that poor Don Quixote Celestial Dragon by stealthily basically like taking its life is definitely my book very much. So in actuality, two celestial dragons might have died, and basically that was two news might have been precisely hidden from Morgans might have totally found out about it as well somehow. Maybe through Stussy, it's definitely my person very much. Maybe Stussy might be like this person leaking all this true news to like Morgans, but like about the brain Morgans might have totally maybe like betrayed Stussy and might have like Morgans might have totally accepted like maybe like somehow like the someone higher up in like the world government might have either Celestial Dragon or someone might have totally found out about like Morgan's like knowing about this news. So like about people they might have sent secret zero members like other people zero members officials like maybe Lucy or someone to like Morgan's to like precisely to precisely like hide that news of like the death of like the two celestial dragons and delivering. They might have totally like and in exchange for like a huge sum of money, and that might have what exactly Morgans might have done, and Morgans might be like totally speaking it about like him totally upholding truth and everything, and Morgans might have done might have been like Morgans might have changed the news of like the death of like a celestial dragon by Sabo, as well as like the death of a celestial dragon by another celestial dragon, as well as the death of like King Cobra by a celestial dragon Charles. Like he might have changed all that news into like making it as like uh, the Revolutionary Army member Sabo taking the life of like King Cobra. It's definitely what might have happened. It's definitely my secondary impression. So like definitely have to see the secondary impression that like Sabo has definitely not taken the life of like King Cobra. It was definitely done by Sabo. It was definitely what I'm thinking on to, but like as for like so it could actually be a fake news, and but like as for like the fake news Sabo of like Sabo taking the life of like King Cobra, like really that turning Sabo into like a hero in front of like the entire of the world. But the brain would precisely have to do with like not just like and especially it might and even while like precisely like King Cobra was like the descendant of like the King Cobra being like the descendant of like the person who of like the first 20 first, people who basically started like the world government 800 years back, like basically. So that being like the precise reason for like basically the rest of the world seeing Samu as a hero, and all of a sudden for like the rest of the world to like totally turn against like the world government and totally use Sabo for like doing something against like the world government. Basically, for like the rest of the world is turning against like the world government so quick, while like the rest of the world until recently had been viewing like the until recently like the rest of the world had only been viewing like the world government as like protectors of justice and peace and all that. Like basically currently all of a sudden like for like the rest of the world should like turn against like the world government and should even view Sabo as like a hero in like something. It would all have to do with like my Syrian process that like Navy might all have to do with like somehow like the information about like the land of Wano being like a weapons factory through which like world government was like fighting it war this entire time. The fact that like world government had like secret team up with like Kaido and with like pirates like pirate emperor like Kaido, and basically was like basically buying weapons from like a pirate had like secret alliance, and basically the world government was totally faking and lying in front of like, the rest of the world, and basically was like actually aligned with like an emperor of pirate emperor to see like Kaido, and basically was buying weapons from the pirate emperor like Kaido. Like basically that news might have somehow spread through like the rest of the world. And that might be the point where like everything might have changed for like the rest of the world, and the rest of the rest of the world might have totally turned against like the world government precisely through that single news leaking. It's definitely my personal opinion. This might be the best reason for like Sabo's act of like this fake news about like Sabo's act of taking the most likely fake news of Sabo's act of like, taking like a King Cobra who being like and to considering like the rest of the world like maybe it might have been in that news report that might have been like that detail might have been even revealed by Morgan Stanley really that basically that King Cobra was like among like the first 20 people that had started like the world government. So like basically that way Sabo had basically not taken the life of just some random person, but like it was like King Cobra, the person behind like like 800 years eventual descendant of like the first 20 who created like the world government. That adding with like that extreme, which like the present world would be having towards like the world government might have totally resulted in that Sabo eventually being turned into a hero. Definitely my personal impression. Like also my personal impression right now is that like the random situation or recent situation with like Dragon as well as like Koala being like totally feeling uneasy of like Sabo not having returned back. I'm also bring that the whole that situation might have not changed even to the present day. Even so certainly my personal impression. What might have happened might have been like even though the news that news might have been precisely a fake news given by like the world government might have only offered a lot of money. Like President Reagan might have only offered a lot of money to precisely Morgan's like rather than the world government might have only decided to like use Morgan's as like the strategy to precisely. restore their lost image. It's definitely not represent. Certainly, even turning the news when my considering that like even when the news was like when what actually in actuality what might have happened would be that the other I can taking the life of like uh, of King Cobra, like basically to keep like that good image, that fake good image of like the world government in front of it, the world, like the world, that the world government and President Dragon might have totally paid like a Morgan a lot of money to basically change the news into like Sabo, taking the life of like the King Cobra, but like what might have totally and with like the dragon like and the world government changing the news into like such a fake news like they might have only expected like the the world the rest of the world to like totally extremely dislike the revolutionary army and Sabo might have been what they might have expected, but like the unexpected, the most unexpected scenario that might have happened would be potentially the leaking of that absolute news of like basically the world government having like secret fires and even buying weapons from like a fire temple like Cairo, spreading throughout like the world. And that way, like basically the entirety of like the world basically finding out about like that like the world government was like the villains with the entire time. Secondly, my business benefits. So like right now, like the world government like highest priority would be to like restore back and gain back their good image as like protectors of like justice. Basically, that would be like their ultimate goal to basically somehow use mortgage as well as Sabo to like basically in such a manner that like they would be able to like get back their lost image in front of like the rest of the world, and so that like for like the world government and Palestine dragons would be able to like once again trick the rest of the world into thinking that they are like the good people on the side of justice. This would be the plan of like, the world government. This would be the precise reason for like even by the news this would be the precise reason for like precisely like even like the news about like precisely after like free Soma like basically Sabo as well as like the revolutionary army like escaping from like the escaping from Marizio like basically even though that might have been like given in like the news like even that might have been like maybe like a trick by like the sensitive dragons and like the maybe even like the elders to like perfectly once again trick and turn Sabo eventually into like a villain in front of like the respect like the world like to destroy Sabo's like hero image right now. It definitely would be like the plan is definitely my opinion because like they would need like the world government and celestial dragons and like the elders like they would all need some more time to like precisely figure out a proper strategical way to like once again turn Sabo into like the straight villain. So like in order to destroy Sabo's hero image and turn him into like a villain. So in order to do that, like not to buy that time would be the precise reason for like them possibly giving the fake news that Sabo and like the revolutionary had army had escaped when in actuality my personal impression that like in that fight between like Fujitora and like Rocky View versus like Sabo and like the revolutionary army in that whole fight, like what might have happened would be like my personal impression that like in that fight, like what might have happened might have been like a team of like Rokiyu and like Fujitora might have totally awkward and defeated like the revolutionary army, like the pure revolutionary army members including Sabo, and basically they might have been totally imprisoned. It's definitely my personal impression. So they might have been totally been imprisoned and put into like captivity. It's definitely my personal impression. Okay, so like definitely my personal impression is that like what might have happened as for like the other possibilities, definitely that like the first thing that might have happened would be like the news about like the world government like secretly and like having allegiance with like Cairo like a fire temper of the and then buying weapons from Cairo pirates to basically fight wars and everything. That might be like the first news that might have leaked somehow, maybe through Morgan himself, maybe somehow initially. And that might have been when like initially the image of like, the world government might have been destroyed and basically that way, like the world government turned into like such villains in front of like the rest of like the entirety of like, the rest of the world. So like at that point, like the Prince of Dragons and like the world government, everyone might have been extremely angry with like Morgan's that like they might have totally decided to like initially decided to take Morgan's leg, but then they might have decided to like basically to use Morgan's to like their advantage to like basically change back their lost image. So like I'm remembering not to the cover of like the desktop King Cobra by a Celestial Dragon. They might have totally put change the news into like basically Sabo, like basically a revolutionary army member, like taking the life of King Cobra. Basically, that might have been an attempt, like putting such a fake news through, like by threatening Morgans, like they might have put up such a fake news, and that might have been like the world government and the Celestial Dragons attempt to like turn turn like Sabo into like a villain because like they might have totally not at all expected like the public to like find out about like the about like King Cobra being like one of like the 20 initial people 800 years back like that created like the world government. So like I'm considering Morgan, even though Morgan might have been being threatened, like Morgan might have secretly added that information safely in the paper. So like that way like once again, Sabo, like, especially what like the Celestial Dragon as well as the world government might have expected, might have been that through the, like the fake news of like Sabo taking the life of like King Cobra, who was like the king of Alabasta, like basically the rest of the world would like totally dislike Sabo and like the Revolutionary Army for like taking the life of such an innocent king of like Alabasta. But like what might have especially like backfired on, but that might have especially backfired on like the world government as such a dragon to through Morgan's adding this like tiny bit of detail that like that King Cobra is like an 800-year descendant of like the very first 20 who basically started like the world government. Certainly my perspective is clear emerging. So like for example, the world it is like especially King Cobra having that perfect connection to like the creation of the world government who suddenly are like villains in front of the terms of the world. Basically that way like the rest of the world might not only celebrated like King Cobra's death and might not only King Sabo was like the ultimate hero. And that as well totally backfire on like especially especially like the sense of Ryan and world government that went to like the Sabo. So Sabo especially my putting them so like as for like the next strategy they will be using it be to like especially to put up the fake news that Sabo had basically create like Puma and basically had like the revolutionary army members had escaped from Marijo. And like then that would be like them like the world government as well as the central by deciding to like buy time like potentially use Sabo as well as Morgans to potentially get back like the lost image of like the world government as like the protectors of just that to get back that fake image and once again to trick the public would be like the world government's plan. So like currently Sabo might be like definitely important, but like precisely the world government won't be able to like take Sabo's life, precisely like execute Sabo or like take Sabo's life because if that news leads to like the first of like the world would be seeing like the world government as like an even more villain who like basically execute and like their ultimate hero. So like basically the if it's totally due to like this factor like the world government and the censorship might be currently world government specifically would be like afraid of like doing like a public execution of like Sabo or like even a secret execution of Sabo because like right now it's like the current situation being like Sabo being like an absolute hero and from perspective like the rest of the world like if Sabo like the news about Sabo getting executed virtually by the hands of like the world government virtually then like that much more of like a villain image like that the world government will be getting in front of like the rest of the world. So like the world government attempt would be to like protect once again try to like frame Sabo into like turning Sabo into like somehow making driving Sabo or like do something that way to like make Sabo uh, frame Sabo into like making him look like an absolute villain in front of like the rest of the world who had basically other intentions behind like basically taking King Cobra's life and that way like eventually like frame Sabo into like an actual villain in front of like the rest of the world and that way also like for them to like buy time and to like for them to like somehow justify and somehow trick the public into like believing that basically the news about like them the world government buying weapons from like Cairo was like an looks like a lie. So like they would need time to do all that and this was like because of this reason they might have decided currently to like put up the fake news that Sabo has, as well as the Revolutionary Army had escaped after they are attacking like Marijo. When in actuality they might have been precisely currently being kept imprisoned as like prisoners. Like might have been precisely to the team of Kichor as well as Rokujo that might have defeated like Sabo and like his few Revolutionary Army members and that they might have totally been gotten imprisoned and currently Sabo and those few Revolutionary Army members will be currently imprisoned somewhere in like some different person other than like any lobby or build down like there will be other secret person as well, ultimate person as well for like the world government and there would be exactly where Sabo will be currently presenting currently in the very impression. Like definitely not the very impression right now is that like Kuroma like the Naval Bureau of Investigation Officer is totally absolutely flawless as to like the actual happening that took place in like Tarawari as well as in like Marijo, especially in the preparation. He's being precisely being fed with like more and more lies, especially by Akayanu and Pizarro. The two of them who knows of like the actual truth and actually what has happened. And I'm also trying to do the according to like the orders of like Intelligent Dragon that they would be like doing exactly. So the only barrier that all the Intelligent Dragons would be like the only thing they might have been able to even they would the Intelligent Dragons might have even had the knowledge to tell them would be to like basically or they might have only given the order to like basically somehow ensure to like hide that this doesn't get to like the investigative bureau or anything. So like to convert like the facts and everything. So like potentially that might have been exactly what Cesaro as well as like Akainu would be currently doing. Like they would be feeding like more and more lies to like to Roma. Definitely my person to and to Roma from the brain is not such an extremely sharp or bright officer. That's like one possibility who might have like actually just straight away believe everything that all the lights that basically Cesaro as well as like Akainu was like feeding him or like the other possibility is like he might be just appearing to be like extremely naive and basically innocent as in, like he straight away believe or everything that like Akainu and Kizaru's like saying when in actuality deep down he might be able like potentially be able to like tell that like both Akainu as well as Kizaru's like lying. So like he might be totally genuinely aware that there's something more to this like so and he might have his currently have this like mindset to like figure out the actual so through his like actual proper investigation. Might be like this could be either one of these two possibilities definitely my perspective. So like I'm considering right now as for like BB's like mysterious disappearance precisely during the death of like King Cobra. Definitely and obviously have to do my theory impression definitely has to do with like do with like basically BB is actually being like a witness to precisely precisely her father King Cobra's death and that would definitely by the hands of like Sabo. It's definitely my personal impression. So like I'm also with like Billy and like and of course referring like if like the scenario is that basically if Shirawati as well as her family have been sent back to like the back to their home then I'm also referring if it's just like Billy's family alone that basically after the death of like King Cobra have been forced to like stay on like the on that precise location forever. If then I'm also referring it to be solely like Billy alone that might have witnessed like the death of precisely her father King Cobra by Charlo. Definitely my person to remember. So like if we were even sent back to like Alabasta, then like basically we would like straight away like expose the truth that basically the news is wrong that basically her father like that like a Celestial Dragon most likely Charlos is like the death is the reason behind like the death of like her father like basically that we even expose that basically like the entirety of like the if we even like expose that like basically like all the fake news and like once again like the image of like the Celestial Dragon it's like it's connected to like the world government everything like all of like the throughout like the world that their image will be once again destroyed. It's definitely my personal impression. So and as for like the extreme slavery and everything that the Celestial Dragon, the considering like they would be precisely even the Celestial Dragon would be like doing the slavery and everything with like a bit of like stealth. Like it would be only in like places like Sabo where like it's like their own kind of like territory would be like the only place where like they would be like uh, uh, acting out in such an extremely villanistic manner and also about the to be in like remote territory like areas that there will be like Sister Dragon would be like acting out in such an extremely villainous manner, certainly never to remember them. When in like the in front of like the rest of like the remaining and that world like Sister Dragon might be like the rest of the world might be only viewing Sister Dragon as this like big shot like would be only along the like the rest of the world would be totally unaware of like all this like slavery that like caused due to like the Celestial Dragon and everything and so also the film was into emergency. So like I'm also preparing especially because of this reason I'm also only preparing like especially because of this reason like I'm also preparing like Celestial Dragon might have really order like they might have genuinely care about like the rest of the world finding out about like the Celestial Dragon Charles like basically taking the life of like the king of Alabasta. That would be like instantly once again making like the Celestial Dragon really making Celestial Dragon like an extreme villain and from affect the entirety of like, the world. So like in order to prevent that the protecting precisely BB is being like featured on BB and like even like sub family will be like remaining family members will be like precisely locked up somewhere in like once like the rooms in like robbery location definitely my generation. So and was the like initially they might have totally planned on like after it's like TV is like a business like to get rid of all the business like after like so that's of taking the life of like King Cobra like basically and also maybe might have even attempted to like also take TVs like as well but before that like someone might have stopped Sabo like maybe other cells the dragons might have showed up and maybe might have stopped Charlos just like Charlos only going out of control and basically it's trying to like shoot everyone so like I'm considering and within that time I'm considering maybe when Charlotte was like temporarily kept was like restricted. Like at that point, about the bring might be when all this news might have like been put up about like King Cobra like that by like Sabo and everything. So like I'm considering precisely after that, it's like basically one more like VB as well. So we have to like die because like VB is like in fact like the prototyping that of Alabasta. So it's like such an important person as well. We have to like so casually like just die like they have to like in order to like remove like eliminate like witnesses the dragons or like the world government even took VB's life as well. Then like they would be like the whole situation would be seeming like extremely suspicious to certain events of military ambition. So, specifically, like the world government has already put up the news that basically, like Sabo has like escaped, like Marijo and left, like Marijo and all that, like Sabo has been freed and Sabo has escaped, like basically, even after putting that news, like basically, if like they eliminate like and take Vivi's life, then even that as well would be creating a lot of suspicions and confusion and even towards like the celestial dragons and just the world government. Once again, creating possibilities affect the suspicion among like, the public that basically it being like the world government as well as the celestial dragons, possibly being like the people behind like that celestial dragons and like world government possibly being like the reason for like the death of like King Cobra as well as possibly even they were to like take Regis's life so like so to avoid all that confusion they might have temporarily decided like they might currently not be able to like take Regis's life because of such a situation happening to Stephanie Maguire. So like they might have currently decided to like temporarily until they figure out a proper solution of like a strategy to the government might be like currently like frantically something to like figure out a strategy to like resolve the issue connecting to like BD to like completely silence BD either through like bribing BD like they might have already tried like Celestial Dragon and like the government might have already tried bribing BD to like keep like the actual truth about the death of her father King Cobra secret in exchange like they would like let her leave back to like Alabasta or like they might not only be planning on like they might have tried even threatening with like taking the remaining family members' life with like Lily doesn't like agree to like keeping silent of like the actual road behind like the death of her father Silvera by like a sensitive fire and all that. So like I'm considering the government might be like planning and doing like multiple strategies to like figure out a proper solution to like basically have either precisely for them to like silence BV and making it seem convincing for like some of the world that basically neither Celestial Dragons or like the world government nor like especially since like the Revolutionary Army according to the news have left like so like to not to make like videos that seem like as less suspicious as possible. That would be one possible like way they were strategy they would be like thinking of or like the other strategy would be like a way to like keep BB silent about like the truth behind her father like King Cobra stuff by yourself so like should be along the lines that they would be currently thinking that world government would be like currently brainstorming for creating like that perfect reason few of a reason. So like I'm preparing for that because they have would still haven't figured out a proper strategy of like a precise reason uh, or like a precise solution would be the precise reason for like we currently temporarily like having being like disappeared all of a sudden precisely after like June Cobra's death even to like the present day Vivi and her family totally remaining disappear in a disappeared like state would be precisely because of this Stephanie and the mutant percent I'm definitely totally bring Vivi to like definitely survive. Vivi definitely won't be like neither the world government nor the Celestial Dragon won't be able to like take Vivi's life as like the scenario that I was then being forced to like basically that BB leave and considering BB most likely using some sort of a trick and strategy from her side and basically tricking like the situation of like the world government and the Sons wagon into like telling them that like she has totally agreed to their demands and she is not going to like reveal the truth about like her father's death by like self wagon Charlo. to the rest of the world. But like Vivi would be totally by even by saying that like Vivi would totally be having some sort of a different ultimate plan to to basically eventually trap like the entire with the world government and like to the self the dragon eventually. Yeah. So kind of like trap like the self the dragon and the world government eventually in like the Resident Evil would be and with that plan I'm considering EV totally kind of like tricking and that way convincing the Silver Dragon and the world government, and that way, like them letting Vivi leave back to Alabasta as like the scenario that I'm considering. While Sabo would be like a remain and like revolutionary army, and other members would be like remaining imprisoned in that whole prison, which where like I'm considering eventually Luke and Russo had to be eventually making it there and finding out about it, like, and eventually making it there and like would be freeing Sabo, like the like revenge scenario that I'm considering and was really impression and. I'm considering maybe it would be during that attempt that basically I'm considering maybe even Luffy would be even seeing Dragon as father for like the first time. Precisely because I'm considering precisely as like Luffy had to would be like eventually making their ultimate attempt to like basically to like their whole mission to like basically precisely rescue Sabo mission like at that point in like the future I'm considering like them totally along with that during that mission like them totally like constantly running into like dragon and his revolutionary army as well as they only as well attempting that very same mission at that very same time so like that being like at the point where Luffy will be finally for like the first time in Luffy's life Luffy will be like meeting his father dragon and talking to his actually talking to his father dragon it's like the end of the scenario that I'm looking for like I'm looking at okay, so like completely my theory and prediction right now is like Sabo right now being like the flame emperor of like the world and even surpassing dragons like that. Definitely my theory impression that this would be totally eventually in like the very distant future would be leading to is finally getting his revenge on Akainu, especially through Sabo. Definitely I'm considered on the right now I'm considered on the it would be like the whole fire versus magma rebattle would be taking place in like the very distant future. So like I'm considering definitely right now considering in like the distant future definitely won't be like Lucy that will be getting his revenge on like Akainu for taking Ace's life. But I'm considering it will be precisely through Sabo. Sabo and considering like the plane Emperor Sabo would be like in like the distant future will be fighting off and squaring off against like in the one versus one fight maybe in like the middle of some war like definitely I'm considering a one versus one battle should definitely fight should definitely take place between like Sabo and Akainu versus Akainu and in that battle where Ace had failed where Ace had failed to like only defeat Akainu and basically had died by the hand of Akainu and I'm considering like even if like Luffy even if like Luffy is messed up in like the war in Marineford and that had even if like my personal revolution coming to that wasn't like Luffy messing up was like the even leading like the reason for like Akainu being able to like take his life or anything. Basically, even if it was like a one versus one fight between like Akainu versus Ace back in like Marineford, definitely Ace wouldn't even have stood a chance and Akainu would have totally awkward and defeated and taken Ace's life parents got definitely my percentage empathy. It simply wasn't strong back in Marineford to even be able to like offer or defeat Akainu. It's definitely my percentage question. But like my percentage question right now is that like where Ace has faced like the Ace has faced like defeat Akainu and so I think where Ace faced Sabo will eventually succeed in like the very distant future. It's definitely my percentage question. So it's like Sabo like with like the extreme flame emperor popularity and everything like I'm considering Sabo to like have a significant growth in his strength even more from the current strength he has currently. It's definitely my considering Sabo's like hockey like raising to like new levels and I'm considering maybe a slight chance of like a slight possibility of like Sabo's like Sabo being able to like awaken Sabo's like fire devil fruit is definitely my personal reaction. In Ace's case, I'm definitely think like Ace wasn't able to like adopt which nor get even near like the point of being able to like awaken Ace's like Logia devil fruit is definitely my personal reaction. But like I'm personally definitely even in the case of Logia devil fruit, like awakening is definitely possible and that was just the precise reason for like during like that whole fight between like Aokiji and Akainu that took place in like distant past in like Punk Hazard, like the entire island of like Punk Hazard takes place into like ice as well as like fire might have been completely due to like just awakening powers of both Akainu and Aokiji that might have happened during that fight back then. It's definitely not of the remnants. So like I'm totally right now. about the eventually in the future, like Sabo will be like succeeding in like awakening like the flame power of this like level. So and not only it will just be like awakening, but like even more like Sabo's party as well to be like seriously and sharply. Sabo will be like raising it to like and reaching new levels of strength. And with that new levels of strength and considering if you feel like the distinct future and considering definitely that extreme guilt would be like even though it wasn't because of Sabo's fault that Sabo wasn't able to like make it in Marine, but still Sabo, through Sabo's mindset, that Sabo still won't be able to like forgive him. So like that guilt would still, even to the present day, would be like remaining as that absolute frustration within like Sabo, and Sabo would be facing like the bring like the very distant future. Sabo eventually getting a chance to like face off against like Akainu and then will get as a revenge in again for against like Akainu. And with that fight against Akainu, like Sabo would be like taking out all that like sort of frustration for all these years of like him not being able to like be there for it. Like Sabo will be taking it all out on Akainu and considering like Akainu definitely in like the very distant future like facing like definitely dying by the hands of Sabo like the FlameEmperor and it was fixing a flame was magma fight in which like the FlameEmperor would Sabo would be totally overpowering and defeating not only defeating Akainu but like taking the life of like Akainu and I'm considering like Sabo to like not even show me the sort of mercy at all. It's like the scenario that I'm considering like while taking Akainu's life like Akainu I'm considering like the future would most likely like most likely getting like going would have be going through like suffering death by the hands of Sabo in like the very recent features like the initial scenario that I'm based on the thing. And like with that, like the Flame Emperor's popularity even skyrocketing even from that point onwards, like the Flame Emperor defeating like the Magma Admiral would be like all over the news as well. It's also like the eventual scenario that I'm definitely only putting enemy to Nigerian question. So like definitely one of the Nigerian question right now with like Shanks telling Ben Beckman that basically it's time to like square the One Piece. Like definitely first of all, my personal impression is that like Shanks precisely only telling this to like Ben Beckman alone. I'm considering like Ben Beckman might have been like one Shanks had started as like a Russia Paris. My personal impression is that Ben Beckman might have been his like first member, a pirate crew member. Exactly like Zoro's like this is like first pirate crew member. First pro had member like I'm considering like Ben Beckman might have been like chances like first red hair pirate crew member. It's definitely not considering and this might have like a lot of relevance because like Ben Beckman that will be like so like and Ben Beckman will be like the only person who knows Shanks well. He can totally read Shanks and who can totally speak along the same lines and on the same level as that of Shanks is definitely my concentration. With whom Shanks even be would be able to like have a serious talk with. That's definitely my concentration. So like I'm considering Shanks might not only decided to like trick everybody else in like the Red Hair Pirate crew members and precisely tricking them. And I'm considering like Shanks totally like Shanks to like totally lie to all of them. Like Shanks totally lied to all of them and basically I'm considering Shanks totally lying to all of them and basically Shanks' plan would be to like precisely head off to the land of Wano along with like just Ben Beckman precisely because of like how like how the remaining crew members of Shanks have like are like totally innocent and basically extremely naive and innocent have and have are like are extremely emotional. So like I'm considering they what Shanks made it only felt that basically they won't be able to like have like even if like the worst case scenarios like Shanks having to use force against like Luffy, like even then in such a scenario, like they would be like totally be getting in the way, and like the remaining of Shanks' crew members because they will be like totally like emotionally like and would be genuinely like unlike like Shanks as well as Ben Beckman who would be like totally having that inner villain within them who would be like Mozilla will should and go through any extent to like even get the number through from Loki. Like both Shanks as well as Spencer might be well and fully aware that basically like the remaining of like the Russian Pirate crew members are not like them. So like basically they won't be like they will be totally having like the emotions getting their way and basically they won't be able to like fight off against Luffy or like threaten the Straw Hat crew or anything. Might be what Shanks and Ben Beckman will be like well and fully aware. So like precisely I'm considering like Shanks and Ben Beckman right now I'm considering to, without much delay totally lying to the crew members and telling the crew members that like they will be just right back or something and basically I'm personally putting stealthily Shanks and Ben Beckman like heading off to like the land of Wano. It's like the scenario that I'm considering to precisely get back like the government through even through force or like even and Shanks and Fenback's like mindset would be to like get like the government force back from Luffy at all costs, even though even if it's through like the polite manner or even if it's through threatening or even if it's through like actual using force or like attacking Luffy and through it's definitely my personal emotion. And as for like Shanks even saying that it's to be investment that like time to go and acquire like the One Piece. My personal emotion is that like two possibilities. Actually, like maybe like the Gundam fruit might the awakened form of like, the Gundam fruit might actually be like the actual One Piece. That's like only one possibility that I'm going to bring. The second possibility that I'm going to bring is that like it might be what Shanks believe, like with Shanks' limited knowledge, like it might be what Shanks might have they even though like the person they might be believing that is like the One Piece, like the Gumbo fruit is like the One Piece, when in actuality the One Piece might not even be like the awakened Gumbo fruit, but it will be totally something different. Like else, some would be like the finding like the truth about like the actual truth behind like the poneglyphs and lamptail might be like the that knowledge would be like that Raftail, maybe like the island of the Raftail would be like that one piece, that one piece of like what of like the only piece that's remaining of like the or the only evidence of like the void century from 800 years back. Maybe that might be what the one piece is. It's definitely my personal reaction. But like I'm considering my personal theory is that like Shanks even thinking currently that basically most likely Shanks would be thinking that like the Gundam Stroke is like the One Piece, and that thought might have been totally put into Shanks through precisely Gold Roger. That's definitely my personal opinion. Precisely because like Shanks wasn't able to like join in along with like Gold Roger when Gold Roger had along with the Roger Pan had gone off to like left tail and to find like the One Piece. So like I'm considering like precisely what Roger might have done might have been like Roger might have like understanding on finding the truth about like through like the great number of chronicles in like the island of Laptel. Like Roger might have totally decided that like since like Roger might have only figured that it would be only like the return of Joy Boy would be only and Roger might have found out everything about Joy Boy and like the Voice and everything and how much like Roger like absolutely nothing in front of like the lore and the strength of like superior strength of like Joy Boy from the Voice and all that like Roger and like the Roger Pirates might have only felt humbled up like Odin might have read like the information contained in all those chronicles in left tail. It's definitely my personal theory impression. So my personal theory impression is definitely that like Roger might have only realized at that point that basically through like the chronicles, Roger might have also found out about like the how like the Joy Boy from like the Void Century had like a straw hat. And like it might have been also written that basically that like the next Joy Boy, once like the next Joy Boy would be like appearing like once Joy Boy would be returning like it might have or contained like information about Joy Boy's stuff and from like the towards the end of the voyage and everything, but like it might have also returned that basically like once like the next Joy Boy would be like returning, like he would have like a straw hat exactly like the Joy Boy from like the Void Century. So like at that point, like Roger and he would also be having like a D in his name, like and the wind of the information, like all that might have been like the Monicles. So like at that point, like Roger might have thought of Shanks, like because like currently Roger might have given this like straw hat to Shanks during that time, was the name of the parents. So like that might have been instantly like a realization for Roger that basically, even though Roger has P in his name, and basically, according to like the information in like the chronicles, like it might have been written that 20 more years needs to pass in order for like the next boy to make his return. So like Roger might have that might be a moment of extreme realization for Roger how like coincidentally like Roger had during that time had basically would was faced with the reality that he won't be able to like live to 20 more years, especially because like he already had that disease and he was like on the verge of death. So like that too was like the Rogers like shocking realization that like coincidentally Roger had passed on his like straw hat to precisely Shank. Even before that, it might be and it that might have been something that Roger might have accidentally without realizing might have done precisely the the very day Roger might have realized about like him having this terminal disease. It's definitely my consideration. So Roger at that point, like on reading the information of Mr. Bonnie's mentor shows me realized that basically so Shanks currently has like the straw hat. It's like the twins are aware of like the straw hat, but then Roger realized basically Shanks precisely coincidentally not being able to like show up to like come along with them to like the come along with them to like the island of Laughter, and like Shanks also not having that the middle initial T in this name will be like totally connected because Shanks is not going to be like the next Joy Boy. Even though Shanks, the Straw Hat is currently on Shanks, it's definitely my person. So like Roger might have already decided to like basically get before he dies to get married and have a child and Roger might have only found like and Roger might have decided to like exactly marry a woman with like exactly like a Roger having like the initial name and because like according to like the of team might have been certain that like would be only a person with like the within the initial in their name that would be like they would all be like descendants of like the Jogo from the third century, and that would be like the only person who would be it would be one among like one of the person who would be like a descendant of the Joy Boy from the third century with like hosting the initial in the name would be like the only be like the next Joy Boy. Might have been Professor so like I'm referring Roger selfishly might have wanted his son, at least even though Roger might have selfishly thought like even though he wasn't able to become Joy Boy, like at least if he wants his son to be like the next Joy Boy, so like Roger marrying like perfectly rope and basically precisely like might have like Roger since like Roger also respond like the word just like he might have only taught his wife like what the rope then basically like even beforehand that basically if I die before of child is born, like basically you need to you need to like name him like the T initial in his name. So like that way Ace had like the T initial in his name and Rosa might have been totally betting on like Ace eventually becoming like the next Joy Boy. And after preparing like in order for like precisely and after going through all that pawning list and like and after like Roger might have also figured that basically about like the Gamon fruit like about like the specialty of like the Gamon fruit that basically Georgia from the World Century had like the was like a wielder of like the power of like the Gamon fruit might have been also written in like the pawning list that might have also been revealed to Roger on lap that he made it to lap just definitely remember so like in order to since like Roger decided of like having a son and basically since like Shan was so close to like Roger like Roger might have wanted like basically the Gum probe to like precisely eventually by the time his son is born and by the time his son grows up like in order for like all the situations to be satisfied and basically precisely for Roger's son like at least to become like eventually become like the next Joy by like Roger might have precisely after like returning from the journey from the after like exactly that secret that Roger had told to Chance which was Chance to like instantly cry might have been precisely that like the One Piece is like what Roger might have told to Chance back then to the child Chance back then might have been precisely that like the One Piece is actually like the Gum through. That might have been what like Roger might have totally told the Chance and that might have been precisely Roger's trick to like get Chance to like search for like the Gum through. So like and Roger might have totally told Shanks that like I won't be able to like find like the One Piece since like I'm on like the very end of my journey. So like I want you to like find like the One Piece in my place. Like might have been what like in an absolutely that absolute lie that Gold Roger might have told to Shanks. Which like Gold Roger totally expecting like Shanks to like eventually find like the government road and still the government road to like totally not to totally to precisely escape Shanks and to precisely fall into like the hands of like his son, God Roger's son eventually is. And that way is being able to like fully being able to and even around that time Science like coincidentally accidentally like exactly like Roger had passed on his hat so had to like Science as well accidentally especially since like Science doesn't have D in his name like Science would be like exactly that same thing would be repeating happening like Science without realizing would be like passing on the hat to precisely Age and that way like Age would be like eventually through Science since like Chance was so close to like Roger, like since like because of that like Chance, Roger might have like expected Chance to be like close to like Ace as well once Ace would be born and growing up. So like that way like all the conditions satisfying and like the Straw Hat literally reaching Straw Hat as well as like the Gumball eventually reaching Ace from Shanks and basically that way to like so that like Ace should eventually become like the return of like Joy Boy so that like should, Rogers and Ace should be like the next Joy Boy. So this intent like especially back then once like returning back from like a last tale like that like secret that Roger might have told Shanks would be that potentially the Gundam Fruit is like the actual One Piece. So since that day might have been when like Shanks might have only been viewing like the number of as like the One Piece, and Shanks might have decided to like find like the Shanks might have made like Roger's frame as his own, and basically since like Shanks might have only looked up to Roger so much, like, and Shanks since that day might have been setting up the like ultimate goal in his mind, might have formed this ultimate goal in his mind to like for him to like find the One Piece, and that precise information might be like the precise information even to the present day that will be in Shank's mind when Shank like right next to like the land of Mino, thinking that basically let's go ahead, when Shank even tells that friend that like, let's go ahead and basically get the One Piece, like it will be especially Shank thinking that like just getting like the awakened jumping through that would be like the actual true One Piece. When in actuality, I'm leaning more towards the possibility that like it wouldn't just like the Gundam Fruit might not awakened form of the powers of like the Gundam Fruit might not just actually be like the actual One Piece. That's definitely my personal theory and person that I'm leaning more towards. So Shanks would be totally wrong is definitely my personal theory and prediction.